Hello, hello, good morning. We are back after a long weekend. How has your weekend been? I have binge watched a lot of series. I told you guys I was going to do that, and I did. How about you guys? What have you been doing? Okay, well, we're at the last few days of the of the year, so I really like to watch what the market is going to do. Um, it's interesting though because we still have a few news events. They're not really that spectacular, but it could still move the market, and we still have some levels that need to be mitigated. So it's just nice to watch. I'm not gonna put a lot of money on the line or even trade my live accounts or evals. Maybe just stick to paper trading. But I still want to read price and see what's price is doing. Let me just go over the news quickly again. Today's 29th, and we've got pending home sales at 10, orange, yellow, crude oil. Well, I'm not really looking into crude, but it is interesting to watch at 10:30 what's happening. Even though it's yellow, it could still move a little bit. We'll see. I haven't been spending a lot of time on oil. I'm planning to do that in the next year, just to go over, just to be prepared if it starts moving again. Tuesday, we've got FOMC meeting minutes. Those are less volatile than the FOMC meeting itself, but it can move the market. But it tends to be 8 times less volatile than the FOMC meeting. FOMC, not the minutes, but the meeting itself. But it still could move. It's indicated as red, but it should be actually orange, to be honest, I think. But what else do we have? That's tomorrow. And then the last date, 31st, unemployment claims at 8:30. I guess they do that just to make sure that they can finish everything they want, right? Okay. Not that much, so I think it's going to be quiet today. I think a lot of people already checked out on the markets. That's okay. I mean, it's to be expected, right? A lot of people are already on holiday, not looking, and already shut off their charts. But we're gonna watch. We're gonna see what price doing. You can see I'm bearish, a little bit bearish to the downside. I think I'm waiting for the 150 to 210 macro. I think it's going to go in a little bit lower, but we'll see. I mean, it can do anything, right? I think it's a very small trade, so I just think it's going to go here. We might go back up if we create a break and then go further down. But I just want to watch if it's going to do that, and I'm just going to try to see if I can bank on it. I'm just going to paper trade my executions, improve executions, get better risk rewards on every trade. That's what I'm doing right now when I paper trade. Really trying to get better entries. For example, I look at the market. I'm late. I'm like, okay, where I get in? Where can I still get a good entry and take, you know, take advantage of the move down, for example, which I think is going to do. But then again, I could be wrong, right? But I'm just, you know, just reading tape. And let's see. Hey, we are almost at the macro. I'm going to go to the 1 minute because I just want to see. It's always weird, right? If you have like, how many days have been off? I did a stream on the 24th, I believe. 25th was, I can't even remember the days. Let me just check. What was it? Um, we've been off a long time. Wow, one Thursday. Okay, we really had a long weekend, 4 days. It sort of like feels like a longer time, right? I always have to get back. So, um, there we go. Let's see. I just want to see if I'm correct, if I'm reading the market properly. Here we go. Okay, we're in the macro right now. Let's see. So this is my TP for now, but I think we're going lower, but then I just want to see if it goes, how it reacts in this area, and then I'll reassess again. I'm just don't want to take too much. You know, my trades are normally 50, 60 points minimum, but I just want to get, I think that is more I guess from February again, when we get more, we're in a consolidation time. So I guess from February I can aim for larger trades again, which I will definitely do because it's my favorite. Let's see. Let's see what price is doing, guys. Let's have a look. Now we are consolidating, right? So it might not do anything. But it will tell us soon enough. It might not move at all, or it might move all the way back up. It could do anything because it's just a matter of which area are they going to take out first. But I do think we might go a little bit lower. So we'll see. Just a paper trade. I'm not putting any more money on the line this year. Okay, so I'm just watching what the macro is doing. Now I have zero I do have some expectations because obviously I put a trade on, but I'm very much aware that I could be wrong. But I tend to think it's going to go down because of the macro. I was looking at the 5-minute here. That's why I was like, you can see here. Now we have equal highs here, right? So this might be revisited later today, or maybe even now. Let's see what it does, how far, if it does go lower, or is it going to reject here and then go up? We'll see. Could be. Yeah. How's everyone doing? You see, it's very slow now, right, in the macro. So you might have to wait to the 350, 410 macro for like a really good move. Could be. Come on, macro. Preferably, I just wanted to go into. We have a little gap here on the 5-minute, right? You see that little volume imbalance? I wouldn't mind if it goes into here and then goes lower. Obviously, I don't want it to see it go higher than this gap. Let me mark this one here. Oh, we have one here as well. See, this is what I don't like about this price action during this time of the year. It's like, okay, what is it respecting? Is it this one or is it this one, right? Now let's see. I'm not going to mark it because there's too many of them. I don't want to call this a gamble, guys, but it's just sort of like just trying to read price even in less probable. So what I'm doing right now is like I'm trying to read price in less probable environment to see if I'm right. Let me put it that way. So please do not copy trade me. I don't have full logic behind it like I normally have. I do feel like I'm reading price and I'm looking at the higher time frame, so I think we're going down, but it is low probability. Now I might be right, but for me this is just about execution. Hey Bucky me, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I missed you guys. I was so happy. I even started the stream earlier because like, hey, let me just start because it's been 4 days. And I just, Bucky me, I mentioned that I was going to binge watch, and I did. I mean, I've just been doing, because normally, when I stream twice a day, because I wake up really early, London, then I go to the beach, I do golf, or I do something I enjoy, and then New York starts, right? And so when New York ends, and I've been streaming quite a lot, but it just, I don't even watch time. I just do what it just comes naturally. But then at the end of the night, when I stop, I had like almost like how many hours? Well, more than, I think we're in 16 hours or something, and I start to get tired then. And then I put on something, and then I fall asleep. So I haven't been watching any series that I can really finish. So I binge watched quite a bit, but it was nice. I really enjoyed it. spending time with friends, family. Not family because they're not here, by the way, but I consider them family, I guess. Yeah, I just did whatever I felt like doing. And how about you? What did you do? I did study a little bit. I did look into the markets a little bit, but not that much. What did you do? I'm excited for the new year, by the way. Looking forward. Wow, the market is so slow right now. Let's see how. Okay, so this area here that I marked, so where my TP is, it's an old opening range gap. So I do think that needs to be mitigated. So I do believe we're going there to fill that. But the question is when. The question is not really if, but when. It's all about time now because they're just finishing the last little bits of pieces, all the imbalances that are still left. The market will, revisit, but there will be a lot of time distortion and just, a lot of manipulation, a lot of consolidation, like here. You can see it again in this macro. So almost there, but so I'm just watching, watching and trying to see how deep for example, now I'm watching, okay, what are we doing in this macro, right? So if I go to the 1 minute, we moved a little bit down, and I'm looking, okay, what did we do? We made a little imbalance in this macro. So this imbalance becomes of significance for me because it's being created in this macro. This macro means a lot to me during London. I use it a lot for information for later. So even though it doesn't do a lot now, the information will be handy later on. So, oh, I forget something really important to do. Let me see, the 130 to 2. I love this one here. I'm going to mark this one for later on. I'll do it later on, otherwise it's too much information. Well, just want to keep my charts a little bit cleaner. There we go. Okay, we're moving slowly, but we are moving. You can see it's trickling down a little bit, right? It's not bullish, right? I mean, people can see it's not, even though it's a little bit unpredictable, you can see the price is bullish, but let's see until we are getting here. It could reject right over at the top of this old gap. Could happen. We'll see. But we're still bearish. Price is still moving in a bearish matter, so that's why I'm still bearish at this moment. Okay, let's see now. This is an interesting area for me. I want to see if we're going to reject here, or are we going to go past this orange line. So we're also in an end dog, so we could reject here a little bit. Could be 2 o'clock. We're going to get a new 4-hour candle. So why did I not move my stop? If we're going to get a 4-hour, we're going to get a new 4-hour candle. Even though I think we're going to go lower, we might have a move to the upside now at 2. So that's why I did not move my stop. I left it here. I'm leaving it. Okay, I'm gonna watch the 4-hour now. I want to pass the family as well. Snowy all through. Oh, you had snow, really? Ugh. I'm so happy. Well, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. You can see it's nice now, but I had rain and it was horrible all week. I mean, so much weather issues here. It should be summer, but it doesn't feel like summer. Well, it's hot now, but it's been just really. Okay, let's see if we can go to my TP. during this macro. We've got 10 more minutes. If we get some larger expansion, then I'll move my stop. But until I just want to see at 2 o'clock what we're going to do. See, we have an order block here as well, so I just want to make sure that we're not going to reject halfway in this one and go back up. But I don't think we are distributing to the downside, right? But let's see. We could get a consolidation, 1 4-hour candle that just goes sideways. Here you go. You see this? What I mean? Exactly at this point. See here, flat bottom. Let's see. It could reverse on me here. But we'll see. Bakemia, I forgot where you live. I don't miss winters, to be honest, but I did like snow, and when we could ice skate. That was something I did like in the winter, when it was really a good winter. But most things of the winter I just don't really miss, to be honest, because it was like when you had a little bit of snow in the Netherlands, I'm talking about, right? Then it like, you couldn't really drive anymore because the roads were slippery and there was too much hassle for the fun. But being able to ice skate on nature ice, like on small little lakes, that was so much fun. But those winters didn't really happen that much anymore. You have blue skies, and even though it's cold, it's still nice. And you're out you're active, and oh, that was so nice. Oh, yeah, Toronto, I remember. Yeah, now I remember. I remember now. Yeah. Okay, to pass your eval. Okay, Bakimi, let me tell you one thing. I don't think this is it. Do not force it in this time right now, okay? Because now price action can be a little bit tricky. There are still movements to be made, but you see how slow. Normally in a macro, it pulls to liquidity or into the imbalance, but you see how slow it is right now. You have to be so careful. Yeah, just if you do want to trade, size down, but don't expect it to do it this, now, because it's just, there's low volume. A lot of people have checked out, so there will be more spikes to the upside, more manipulation, more time distortion. So if you have patience, you'll get your payout. It will happen. But I'm not trading any evals or my funded accounts at this time anymore. I already closed everything, and I'm just not interested in doing so. Even though I might miss a move, I just really want to have a high probability environment. Now, why are we going up? You see this? I marked this end dog here, so I'm expecting this. That's why I didn't move my stop. Okay, we have a new 4-hour. We've got a new. It's 2 a.m. So we've got a new 4-hour candle. So I'm hoping. I hope it goes into this area and then goes back down. Right? That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. So Bucking, it's all about just waiting and also if you have like, even though if you would pass it and you would go, like for example on the last day you go into in your account and you would take a trade, and yeah, just paper trade. I would really highly advise that to do so, to be honest. How far are you from passing? How far are you away? You will get there. I will, I'm sure if you just practice patience and trade in high probability environment, and just have a model that you want, and you have been back testing and you wait for that, you will get there. But I'm just curious, how far are you from passing? Hey, I've been there. you know, I've been well, impatience is my thing, right? I mean, I'm still working on it, but I've become much better at it, and I've got like peace of mind now as well. Like, okay, I know now because of the years. Like, okay, if I wait now, don't my P&L will be much higher now, even though I might miss a few trades. That doing nothing on my evals or on my funded, I will do much better. And now I'm just practicing, you know, my execution, reading it, and like, okay, what are we doing? How much did it reject here? How much? Ah, okay, I can see why it only goes a little bit. This goes a very little bit in this area, right? But not much. Let's see. I have above 1200 needed for my 50K. Okay, okay. Do you trade micros? Oh, look at that. I'm not even paying attention to my. Oh, I like. Oh, this I like. Okay, nice. Now I can. Now this is a protected. Now this is fine for me. Now, why am I doing this? Because I could still be stopped out, right? Because it's at exactly at the mid of this range that I marked, and let's see, because it's very tricky. So if I'm gonna go to break even, it has to be above the midpoint. Now, normally I would, if I'm in my own money, then I would probably already take my profit in this market. But I'm just trying to showcase and looking at markets because that's how I journal it as well. Okay, what's happening? Because my TP is here, but it didn't happen in the macro, for example. I'm looking for what's happening in the macro. How far did it go? And I really calculate percentages. I go very deep in my journaling, but that's I don't want to bother you guys with that because I'm a nerd. But normally, if I would advise you not to trade, I would not leave my trade after a move like this. Let us get that clear, okay? I have been steady for 2 months now, longest in a while. I haven't checked the P&L for 2 months. We'll request end of the year in a couple, probably around. Oh wow, Ahmed, that's awesome. I love that. I've been steady for longest and I haven't checked the P&L. That is awesome. And you're just focusing on the process, right? That's actually really good what Ahmed is saying there, guys. That means he's just working on the process and he just disregards the money amount. That's the reason I put ticks on my on TradingView, also for myself, but also for you guys, because it's not the money amount. I actually would prefer percentages, like, okay, how much percentage. I would rather talk in I hate it when people say, oh, I made so much money, or my trade, I made so much on a trade. I'm much more interested. Okay, what was your, you know, your R2R? How much did you risk? And what Ahmed is saying, I love that. I mean, Ahmed, I wish I did that. I had to be honest, I don't do that. I do look at my P&L, but that is such a good thing. Guys, you can learn from that. I can learn from that as well. Process over outcome. That's it. And if you can really let go of that, that's where your growth is. Just gathering data. Yeah, love it. Love it, Ahmed. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I need to hear. I think I'm going to also talk more about just percentages, because money doesn't really matter because we're all in a different phase, right? It's more like a percentage. How much did you grow your account if you have your own account, or how much draw? It's so much more important. Wow. Hey, Ahmed, you say you've been steady for 2 months. May I ask how long you've been trading and how when did you, okay, you said you did this 2 months ago, but I'm just curious how your whole learning curve has been, because not many people can do this. I find that difficult as well, not looking at the P&L. Wow, it's so awesome to hear. Who else does that? I'm just curious. There's no shame in you doing, because I don't, and I'm going to do that more. But who else does this already? I think you're one of the few, Ahmed. I would love to know if there's more people here that do that. But it's different when you're doing an eval, right? Let me get one thing straight. Like if you're doing an eval, you need to keep track how much do I still need to go and stuff like that. So it's a big difference doing an eval or having a funded account or having your own account, right? So when you do an eval, obviously you need to keep track of where you are, how much you still need to make, because you don't want to, once you hit the profit, you don't want to risk anything. You just, don't trade anymore on that account. you don't, you let the process go and you get to another account. Ahmed, 5 years in total. Last year I made around 50K. This year it was around 35K. Had some personal life stuff, so mentally it wasn't a good year for me. Well, I mean, if it mentally wasn't a good year and you still did that, you did really, really well. That is so awesome. So only 2 years profitable. So 3 years not. That's actually really fast, but very good. Okay, my TP has been hit, guys. Okay, so that wasn't a bad trade. And it's still managed within my macro. Okay, perfect. Okay, so my price, actually my analysis was right. Okay, let's see now if we're going to go lower, or I do think we're going to, if once we start, we are definitely in a continuation now, but let's see what kind of. Hey, you're doing really well. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing that, Ahmed. At the end of the year, those are those things that sometimes I think about, okay, what do I want to improve? What do I want to do better? Sometimes you don't think of them. So I'm going to write this one down because I think this is such a, process. I mean, I said it many, many times to myself, but sometimes, I focus on other things. Like for me, more like, okay, trailing stop losses. But I think it's one of the mental sides is actually process um, over outcome. But it's easy to say, but I think it's more process isn't a mental thing, but I think it starts with the mental side. So once you start really focusing on really being able to focus on process and on outcome, I think you have to get over some. How can I say that? Because it's very easy to say, right? Because we all know it. Process is more important than outcome, but do we really do it? We all watch our P&L, most of us. We do. Why? Because we still unconsciously still find the P&L more important. Now I live off my trading, so obviously I need to know what I make and how much I can spend. But the funny thing is, the moment you really let go of the outcome, and you hear that every trader who does that, who manages to do that, the P&L just goes much higher than the time before, right? So um, I'm going to write that one down because I think again it needs it's something to sometimes to talk about. But like I said, we all know it. Process over outcome, but do we really do it? So that's something we all need to ask ourselves. Do we really do that? Do we find process over outcome more important? And if it's a yes, be honest to yourself. Do you really do it? Ahmed, may I ask your what strategy do you use? Have you I guess you also back tested a lot and you have a clear strategy that you apply. Okay, guys, let's see. Okay, so we have a new 4-hour candle. We can see here this one. Let's see if we're going to get. The only thing that I am sort of like wondering now, because I marked this area here, and I think we might go into consolidation here. Because my area, see my TP has been hit, and this area is an area that needed to be mitigated, and you can see we had an order block now. Let's see if we're going to go lower, or are we going to create another, if you always look to your left, you can see what happened here. Okay, we had sort of like a, it stopped here, we created to the upside, we created a down close candle. Let's see, we're going to create an up close candle now, another 4-hour. 781. Hey Dean, I'm with you, but I wonder if the 4-hour, if we're going to get extension, or are we going to consolidate here? Yeah. Let's see. This was a. You see I have my TP right over here. I'm actually thinking of going long here, to be honest, but I'm not doing anything now. Let's see. No, I'm not thinking about going long. If it goes below this one, I would take it to 771. I use pure price action. I had a good couple of mentors, but after I separated from them and more. Yes, perfect. You take what you need and you make your own, right? I think that's also when you have the proper mentors, that's what you are supposed to do. You don't want to be a clone. You just take little bits and pieces from the ones that you learn from, and then you mold it into your own and you create your own trading identity, right? Yeah, that's awesome, Ahmed. I love it. Love your story. Thank you. And that's also what I love about yeah, and you know what I love about well, I don't want to call it my community, but people that are in here. Even though I go over price here, the people here who feel differently, even though I'm the one, it's my stream, but it's not that I am the one who, I don't want to be like, oh my God, I know it all, but I'm just saying what I think. But there are a lot of people here that just say, okay, I'm seeing it differently today. I think it's going up, and even though they're wrong, they don't have any shame. They're just like, no, and that's what I want. Like, and then we can go over it. Hey, what? Oh, I am wrong. Whatever. It's just sharing price action together, and that's what I love. That is really a safe place where we can just share, and not about me, but also like, hey, I'm actually long. Instead, okay, I'm short, and somebody else goes long, and they just share it. And even though they're okay, I was wrong, and blah blah blah. What did I miss? Blah blah blah. And then they go over in the chat what did they miss, and blah blah. So everyone learns, and that's what I really love about this chat here. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're still dripping down. Oh, look at that. We're gonna go here and then here. So let me just quickly do. Save 3, no, okay, we're gonna yeah, it's going down all the way to EQ 771. Anyone in a short still? We're in distribution. We're in distribution. We're going beautifully down. Let's see. Still a beautiful move, right? Even though it's very slow, it's still nice. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, the move. 771. Let's see if we can find another good trade. So for me, my edge was until here, because this was like sort of like, okay, I'll just reassess again, because it was exactly until within the macro. Dean short. Hey, Dean, your level. Oh, yeah, you're short already. Were you already in a short when you mentioned the seven? What was it? You said 781. Dolly. I want to see how we're going to react at 771. Hmm. Hallo, wat is je kopje? 25. Can you explain why 771? Okay, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Two reasons. Mm. It's the midpoint of this wick, but it's also a midpoint of a range. So it overlaps. You see this dealing range, midpoint, and it's also the midpoint. Oh, now I can see that very quickly, but that takes time. You see how it overlaps? So for me, it's a high. It's a high point of interest because it's premium discount of the session, but also of this week. So when I see those two, for me, it's starting to get easy to sort of like see that it's a miss point. But I already calculated this already. So once it gets below this area, so most likely it will get to here maybe. But I really want to see what it does here. Now, I can already hear people think like, well, yeah, why didn't you keep your trade on until that area then? That is because I was not sure if we were going to, because of time, that we might go up first. Because if you look at the 5 minute, let's go back to the 5 minute, we have equal highs here. I wasn't sure what we were going to do within this macro, right? I thought maybe we were going to reject here, go back up first. Like we could have a higher, now we could have gone higher, for example, into this wick here on the 4 hour, but you can see we just have a little wick and we started going to the downside, right? So that's why I wasn't sure. That's why I took the trade just only up to here. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to wait and see what price is doing. But we're trickling down, as you can see, beautifully. That's okay. So this being the 50% of that weekly rate of that dealing range, right? It's the range, this range and this range here. Just want to see what we're going to do. And you can see we have a little gap here, right? This needs to be, so a little fair value gap. So if we could reject from here. Yeah, today I'll do New York session too. Yes, definitely. I trade New York session. I sometimes don't trade. I don't stream AM session, but I don't stream PM session. But I'm thinking of implementing a pre-market prep for the AM session, so a little bit before New York Open. I do that by myself, but maybe make it public a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. Go over levels. What I want to do then is go over levels of London. So for the people that haven't traded London, quickly go over levels of London and quickly go over levels for the New York session. Then yeah, it's just like a sort of like not too long, just very concise, and do it for ES, NQ, and gold. Now let's see. I want to go back to the 1 minute. Oh shit. I always do that. Okay. Hey Jay, hey MJ, hey Tamir, how are you all doing? Good to see you guys all. How was your how has your weekend been? Gold looks like a good 2022 model. Hmm, I don't know. I don't. I think the 22 model was here, to be honest, on Sunday. I would not call this the 2022, but this maybe here, or actually, yeah, here. Here I would be. I think we're similar gold and Q. It's sort of like for me, it's downward, but I sort of like um, it's more. See, we got into is we. I marked this area here, and look where we rejected exactly here. But I think this is short-term rejection because I think we're going to mitigate this area here. So I think gold is. I mean, I don't know how if you mean it bullish or bearish, but I think we're bearish on gold. I think they're going into this. We're going into this area here to mitigate this because what was this area? Can't remember. Was it an opening range gap? Let me quickly have a look. Um, yeah, yeah, it's an opening range gap and it's still unfilled. So I think we're going down on gold. So, but the 2022 model was here, I believe, somewhere here when we get into this. But now we're just retracing to go further down. No, MJ, it's just the end of. I mean, it's just filling the last imbalances and just there's just this is an imbalance. This area that I marked here is an imbalance on gold. So I believe it's just going down there to mitigate that. Um, so it's just taking its time. Oh, you meant on the short? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. No, that's good because if this is this area is definitely would have been the best entry for a short, and then just mitigating. But look, it's very tricky now, right? Look at gold. I mean, it's sort of like making large wicks and taking out areas, but it's the question is how long is it going to distort, and is it just going to it wants to go into this area, but when is it going? And the question is now when. That's why I'm very careful. I'm not trading my evals or anything anymore. I just don't want to. Let me see. What's this? 1030. You see how tricky it's rejecting here, but this looks like a balanced price range, right? Will it seem to be balanced here? We don't need to go up. Are we going to go down? But when are we going to go down, right? When are we going to go down? That's the question. It's just when. It's all about when. So similar to this area here, we're rejecting here now. Did we create equal? Yes, we created. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at that, guys. Equal low on the 4 hour. Now, let me share something with you. I want to see if it's really equal. 78525. 78525. 784. Okay, so we took out. Okay, you see, we did not make an equal. We did take the liquidity on the 4 hour, and most likely on the 1 hour we can see it better. Yeah, but it's a minor. It's a minor sweep. It's minor. It doesn't really. What one did you take? You took this one here. Low 783, but you did not take this one, right? 9784. No, it did not take this one out. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yo, Jerry. Hey, DBT, how are you doing? Good to see you guys all back. I missed you guys. I missed 4 days too long. Okay. When the 4 hour creates an equal, this is not equal, but when the 4 hour creates equal, there is a low probability that it will take it out in the same 4 hour. Write that down. It's not always the same, but now it did not create an equal. I'm just saying, but I just want to give this one just something I just want to sometimes I just want to share something that I found in my journaling. It's just, and it's not for me just saying it is like it is. I just want you guys to investigate that yourself. But when on the 4 hour you see there's an equal, but really it's the same, you mark it, but it most likely will take it out in a few candles later. And I'm talking about the 4 hour. So it's not an equal, so it might still take it out in this 4 hour cycle. But when you see a 4 hour creating an equal with a former, with the older 4 hour, be prepared, it might not take that out in that 4 hour cycle. Not always, most of the time. So when I would see this would be equal, I was like, okay, you know what? We might consolidate and we might have another, it might need another 4 hour candle to take it out. But it did not, so I'm just saying, but write that one down, guys, and investigate. Okay, but we probably have SMT, right? We took out here, we took out Wednesday, December 24. Yeah, I can already see we have SMT here. Did I? Wednesday. Now what am I looking at? Wednesday 24. Yeah, this whole area is SMT with ES, but I wonder if we're just not going to catch up. Yeah, well, Jay, just look at, just, you know, if you most of the time people miss it because they don't look at the 4 hour the way I do, but if you start noticing it, it's like, okay, because if it creates an equal, it is sort of like an algorithmic signature to be revisited later, right? It doesn't create an equal to take it out just a few minutes later. Let me put it that way. Which candle, Bakimi? Let's compare. See, for me, the SMT is more on the higher time frame. Like here, this one here. Wednesday, 24th of December has not been taken out on Nasdaq, but we took it out on. We've been going down. It's yes, Jay, exactly, factually. Mm-hmm. Jay touches on it. Yeah, equal highs and lows are created for a reason, right? So they have but the higher in the higher time frame you see it happen, um, it's sort of like it gives you if you go in the lower time frame, um, it's a turtle soup. If you see it, okay, that's where I enter my on a 4. If I see it happen on a 4 hour, if I'm on time and I go quickly to the lower time frame, let's for example, if it's a lower 4 hour equal, I go very quickly to a lower time frame and if I see okay we're reversing here, that's where you can turtle soup it because it's like okay we're reversing here, and if you see already like okay we're forming an inversion, and I've already established my knowledge that it's an equal low or high on the 4 hour, I have more confidence that I can turtle soup it or take it at the inversion already and write down the whole lower time frame market maker buy or sell model. So that's how you get your higher time frame, your larger moves. If you understand the correlation between, but this is just this is a thing that you can use, right? It doesn't work always, guys. It doesn't work always, but there's a lot of other things that you look at then as well. But it is one of those things, it's an algorithmic signature, equal highs and lows, which we all know, but how do you use them? Well, this is one of the ways how you can use them, right? So you quickly go to the lower time frame, you look for, okay, are we reversing? Or is there a possible reverse? Is there SMT? Well, if you can add all those things together, because I got really excited, like, oh my God, I've got an equal low on the 4 hour, but it wasn't. But if I would see that, I get really excited because then I quickly look for, yeah, but think about the logic, Jay. It's about the logic, right? I'm all about logic behind every move. So what's the logic? So people can understand why is things happening, so you can apply it, right? It's all about logic. Why is an equal low on the higher time frame can benefit you? No, not like that. Don't think, no, it's not like when, it's like if then. So if a equal low is formed, you go to the lower time and look for, okay, what is happening? Or is this 4 hour candle? Let's talk about the 4 hour because it's one of my favorite candles to work with. Now, they're not the easiest when you just start out, right? Because there can happen a lot within the 4 hour. But let's stick to the 4 hour. So when you see a 4 hour equal low created, you quickly go to the lower time frame and okay, what's happening here? Is there a possible reversal? Is there a possible SMT? Can I trade it to the different direction of where the equal low or high has been created? So what are you looking for, right? So that means either reversal or in which stage, because you might see it a little bit later, right? So especially, let's say you see it and it's already 10 or a half an hour in. Well, there's still opportunity if it's a if it's a full reversal, right? So you might still have the second stage of accumulation of the market maker model where you can benefit from, but you use the information from that 4-hour candle, what has been given to you, if you manage to track it on time. So you really, it's not like, it's not if then enter inversion equal high equal low, but you have to invest. It's like you're an investigate, you just investigate, and it doesn't matter if you see it on the 4-hour, you can, you want to have your change in state delivery. For me, 15 minutes is very important. So I do cycle along and the 15.5, and I enter on the 1 or on the 30 seconds, but I would definitely cycle through all of them because you want your market structure shift. For me, if it's a full reversal, I want a market structure shift on the 15 or minimum on the 5. But yeah, it's hard work. It's a lot of going through a lot of price action. But start just thinking about it, and just when you look at it, you see what I mean? Yes, I want you to understand why, and not like, oh, if that happens, then I can enter a short or a long. But just start thinking, okay, I do have this, and start looking at the higher time frame more often in correlation to the lower time frame, how you can utilize it, right? That's why you always see me on 2 screens, and I have more screens that I look at. So Jay, I use the breaker a lot, but also the inversion, and sometimes, like when I explain this, that's my turtle soup, when I use information like this on the higher time frame. Breaker, rejection block. Breaker and rejection blocks are my favorite. So rejection blocks is pretty high, low. If you have the PDRA matrix, you have high, low, rejection block, right? So the high, low is what I just explained, how you can use it. If you see like an equal, it's one of the things how you can use it. When you see an equal high or low being created, that's how I use the high, low to enter on. The rejection block speaks for itself. If I see that price is being rejected, now for example, this is a rejection. I consider a wick a rejection block, so I use it a little bit differently than how ICT taught it, but technically a rejection block, this is a rejection block here, right over here, right? It rejects here, it goes back up. So this is how you also can use it. And then you can work your way through the PDRA matrix. I don't tend to use the order blocks as much. But I use basically everything I use volume imbalances a lot, fair value gaps as well. But I just use fair value gaps also just to read, okay, are we going to disrespect them or not? It just depends. At some point you'll start using more of them in how price is moving. But my favorites are the rejection block and the breaker. Those I see very clearly. Yeah. But I enter on more, and sometimes I just enter on time. I use time a lot. If I don't see, sometimes I just like, okay, where are we in time? Are we moving? I was doing that a little bit with my macro here. I could see we were going down, because if you were looking carefully, if you see where my stop loss was, it was more based on time. I just looked at the higher, what was a protected high. So I saw it and I was like, okay, I don't see anything, but I think we're moving down. Let me see where I could go in. So this macro, I just used the time when we made the move down, and my TP was right on this one here, on this block. And it was also the bottom of the opening range gap. So I use gaps a lot. I love large wicks. I use wicks and gaps a lot in my price action. And I just look, okay, what's mitigated, what's not, what needs to be rebalanced, what not. And that's how I just, I might use the logic on the 1 hour. Yes. Hey, listen. Start investigating that. I love that. Because everything is fractal, right? If I talk about the 4 hour, you can think, hey, if she does it on the 4 hour, can I do it on the 1 hour? Yes. ICT said in one of his videos, you have a trade every 15 minutes, every 1 hour candle. Think about it. Why? Why would that be? Well, but you won't see so many equal highs and lows, by the way. It doesn't happen all the time, right? But you can test it. Go test it and let me know what you find. Why do I use the 4 hour? Because on the 4 hour, it's more powerful. But test it and let me know what you find. But I'm sure you can use it in the same way. Yes, exactly. So on the lower time frame that you're looking at, you want to see a market structure shift because you want to trade the opposite direction, right? Because you create an equal low. Like for example, when I say, okay, you create an equal low and then you think, okay, you know what? We're not going to take this low now. So we're going to reverse. Let's say it was a low. And then you're like, okay, so on the lower time frame, that will be a market maker buy model. So I want to look for a market maker buy model because we're going to reverse. Because a higher time frame retracement is a higher time frame retracement is a lower time frame full market maker buy and sell model, right? Because you go up to go down again, right? So it's a full market maker model. So you're looking exactly for market structure shift, exactly. So I always look for 5 or 15 minutes. Hold on, guys, just 1 second. I need to address something. Yeah, so that's the logic, Jay, exactly. So you just want to find, but that's a clue that okay, if we have, but start testing, look at it like okay, if go look in your charts and see, you want to test the 1 hour and you look at the chart and you look at how long did it take if it created an equal low or high before it took them out, right? Start looking at that. That's how you investigate. I can spoon feed you with my journal, but I'm not going to do that. But I love it that what you're saying and you're seeing the logic. Like, okay, so, mm, yes, backtest it, and you'll thank me later. It's a gem, guys. I mean, it's really something. If you start seeing that and you start watching it, it gives you a lot of information. But like I said, and just just see how many times does it fail, or does it maybe take it out for a 1 hour? It could be sometimes that the 1 hour might take it out. Well, let me see if the one on the 4 hour will definitely have it on the 1 hour as well, right? One of the 1 hours will have the same. Um, but it's for me, it's more. You know why I like the 4 hour, for example, because you can go further back. So it's for example, let me show you. Like on the 1 hour, you have this information here, but on the 4 hour, I've got more information. Like if we have a longer time frame, I can go a little bit further back because it doesn't have to be, let me see. Well, here we don't have much. Okay, let's have a look at this one, guys. Here, this one is this equal? Did I make my point here? 78350, 784. You see these two here? They're not really equal, but they're almost equal. See what happened? We went higher, right? And we're going to take them out now, most likely. But mm, I think it's almost safe to say if they look equal, we can consider them equal. But I don't want to say that. I don't want to be. I want to be more exact. But well, here we got the same. This one did take this one out, but We went higher. You guys are going to look at equal highs and lows in a different way now, I'm sure. But you need to backtest it. You need to backtest it. Oh, shit. Backtest it, journal it, look at it, and investigate. Be like a Sherlock Holmes. And then you will start understanding the difference between why is it a rejection block and why is it equal highs? What's the purpose? It's very interesting. Yeah. You see these here? They're relatively equal, but they're still considered equal. And now we are going for them. We are coming for you. We are coming for you. So that was also why I was bearish. But the question again is time. So we are rejecting now here, right? We're rejecting in this 4 hour. Let me mark. Let's see how far did we get into this wick. We are rejecting in this one that created relatively equal. See, we didn't take them out, but let's see how far did we get into it. Okay, we are below it. I'm going to take this one. Okay, guys, look at this. Is this random, do you think? 4 wicks are being used again at some point. I just love wicks. Exactly, 0.5 of this wick. And relatively equal lows waiting now. But the question again is, when are we going to take them, right? But when this 4 hour candle was formed, and it formed relatively, and you see it move away, but exactly equal is more powerful. Test it. Just saying. Okay. You see how you can literally calculate your price using those wicks, right? You have your TPs and your entries almost at with 0 drawdown or 0. Like this, I don't know if you guys saw that, but where I got out was almost to the tick, exactly here. How do I get that information? I use these things. I use wicks. You combine a lot of things and you see overlaps, and then you can literally predict price. Yeah, 4 hour and the daily wicks. But you see here where we got out, 0.5 of this wick here. This one. But it could also be this one, right? For me, the biggest present what ICT gave me this year was the use of premium and discount wicks. But he only gave us the only thing that he gave us was the daily. Jay, this is not what ICT taught in any. Well, actually, it was this year. For me, it was. I've just combined. It's hard to say because I've been combining a lot of things lately and just building on what he taught. And like I said, you know, like what you just said, like I tell you about the 4 hour, but you said, hey, listen, I'm gonna backtest on the 1 hour. And that's what you need to do. You need to start testing things how you are reading price. ICT went over the premium and discount wicks on the daily. I've been backtesting it on the 4 hour and on the lower time frames. So how I come to my things is not, I'm building on what ICT has taught me in time, what has been given to me by other mentors, but also what I've been figuring out myself. So I still stick by core content, 2022, and then what he has been doing this year, and then move backwards. But it still takes a back testing, because what I am doing here is not really being taught by ICT, but I'm using basic knowledge that he has been teaching, like using the PD array metrics, and then applying my logic to it and implementing time, right? Because technically he does teach, he does when he goes over the PD array matrix, high lows. How do you use them? We know that there is stops above them, but I look now, okay, but how can I really make it practical for myself? So I've been looking, okay, I'm always looking for the logic behind everything to make everything more mechanical. So for me, it's like, okay, by backtesting, and I'm just giving this gem to you guys. If I backtest, I figured out if a high is created, it is not taken out in the same candle. So how can I use it? Okay, that might be my turtle soup. So I try to make it more naturally for me to understand how can I utilize it. So if I tell you that like that, it's like, oh, of course, that's very logic. That makes sense, right? But you need to figure out those things by going into. That's why journaling is so important. Then you start seeing these things. Okay, how can I make it practical for myself? And then you look for your okay, that's your high low, but then you look for your rejection block. Then you look for your fair value gap. Then you look for, okay, where does the market maker buy model start, right? So I reverse engineered everything. So you want to sweep, right? So it comes from model 22 comes in. Then you want to understand, okay, are we going to go lower, higher? Or is it just a minor sweep, or is it a purge and revert? Are we retracing? And then time comes in. And again, you think you understand everything, and then again, bloody time. We need to take time into consideration. So there's so many things you need to start, but you start applying more and more. The more you start journaling, the more you will start applying these things. Okay, again, I want to point out why do you always see these yellow lines on my chart? Again, I use this area for my whole London session. What happens? We retrace into this fair value gap, right? So I use this information. Now, technically, I need to do something else because I also marked this one here. This one is for later, not for now. ICT says only in London, but I don't agree with him because I've seen by accident that this one is much longer. There we go. Okay, now let's see. This fair value gap is important. Now it is important. Sometimes I forget to go to the 1 hour, by the way. And then I miss a lot of information. Happened a few times on stream as well. Then I was like too focused on the 4 hour, and I just you need to scroll through time a little bit more, especially on the whole of the hour, on the because here you can see that this one, we almost took this one out, right? Now let's see. Do you have any tips on determining draw on liquidity? That's the hardest concept for me to master. I was thinking how to make it simple. Well, for example, on the 1 hour, you can already. So liquidity goes from external to internal, right? So if you're let's say you like to stay on the 1 hour, right? So for this example, when you see this 1 hour candle when a fair value gap is considered internal liquidity. External is daily highs, low, weekly high, low, session high, lows. So, for example, here we take internal liquidity, so then you already know the 1 hours are going to go to external liquidity. So it will take out. Now here is external, here is external, right? So, but it took internal, so you know on the 1 hour we're on our way to take external liquidity. You can also look on the 4 hour, for example. Now what did we do in the 4 hour? External. Are we going to go to internal? This will be internal liquidity. Yeah. Now I've also marked this as premium discount. So for me, I'm already thinking, you know, it's very highly likely that we're going to go here on the 4 hour. But the one question that I'm asking myself is when? Because when is the time right that we go into this internal liquidity? And for me, it's sort of like a given because we've got premium discount. See, we're rejecting here, we're rejecting. Every time you see what happens on the 4 hour, we're rejecting in it doesn't go over any high, right? It's rejecting here, it's rejecting here, and it's rejecting here. So it's on its way to liquidity. For me, it's like, okay, what is it going to do? Now you could also argue it's going to take external liquidity here and then go into here. But let's see if it goes below this area here. It's not too far away. It's 30 points away. And for me, what I'm doing right now is just watching time. Yeah. Oh, I need some. Yeah, like Dean says, sometimes it takes when you have a high when you use higher time frame PD arrays, it takes a long time. And that comes with experience. Then you have more confidence in the trade, but you have to have the proper entries. For example, Dean, I think Dean, if I might be wrong, but I think you understand and you get in. You are using external to internal. That's why I'm not sure if I read that correctly, but when you get in your trades, you already have established where the internal liquidity is, and you're going to external, right? I think that's what you're doing, because I notice on your exits and entries, you see how we're going lower now, right? So this is that 50% level that I marked, and we've got internal liquidity here as well on the 4 hour. Yeah, because Dean is waiting longer because he's using the liquidity levels and trusting it. But Jay, sometimes it's just more of if you don't really understand the draw on liquidity yet, it's also very important just to understand where am I in a market maker sell, or am I in a sell program or in a buy program, to make it a little bit easier. Am I in a buy or sell program? So you start at the higher time frame, right? Yeah. So are there imbalances, or are they taking liquidity right now? So this is an imbalance and this is liquidity, right? So let's see. So Jay, you can clearly see that we're in a sell program, right? It's in a sell. So then you look for, okay, it's in a sell program. Where's the liquidity on the higher time frame? Okay, on the 4 hour we have it here, here. Now, where is my fair value gap? Here's a fair value gap. So you look at these things, like, especially when you have equal lows above a fair value gap, this will become a high probable target for liquidity, because there's also a fair value gap below. So if it will go down, it will grab the liquidity, but also balance out that imbalance, right? But again, it's going to take time, especially in this type of environment that we're in. See, we took out the liquidity here, but did not take out this one yet. So this is what I'm expecting now. It takes it out on the 4 hour, but how long is it going to take? Oh, it's 3 o'clock. We're in a macro, by the way. Now, what comes in play are these levels as well. So a lot of wicks on the lower on the height mean a lot of imbalances on the lower time frame. So it will take time. It won't go in one time. On the lower time frame here in this area are a lot of imbalances. So you will see this back and forth, take our liquidity back and forth a little bit. I can already tell you it's going to reject a few times here before it gets to the 0.5. Let's see. Order block here. Yeah. I trade of these levels. These are for me very. I don't do it regularly, but I wouldn't trade now from this level because we got liquidity here in the 0.5 level. But if this will be like, if we will go down here, I mean, hey Adiko, how are you doing? Good morning to you. I think price is not moving too bad, to be honest. It's really, I'm actually surprised that it's still, now it isn't, it was actually worse last week, wasn't it? Um, okay, there we go. We're going to take it out now. Okay, macro is done. So let's see what we're going to, what's happening now, because we are not here yet. Are we going to do it now? Hello, Michelle Mutuka. How are you doing? Okay, so we hit an old midnight. We might have a little bit of a reaction here because we're also outside macro, right? So we might have a little bit of an upward movement. Before we go down, let's see if we can maybe frame a nice trade around the 350, 330. I would really love it to go a little bit higher, but let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's have a quick look at gold. What has gold been doing? Okay, so gold is, oh, look at that. Ugly. Just consolidating right now here. Um, I think it will go lower definitely in this area, but it's gonna take its sweet old time, right? Yeah. Yes, Michelle, I had a wonderful, I just binged watched a lot of series. Well, actually two were I was a long time already wanted to watch Dexter Resurrection, and I just hadn't had the time since I started the channel. So I did, and I binge watched until I was fed up watching TV. That much I did, but it was awesome. So I really enjoyed that again, and ate a lot, and just had fun with some friends. What about you? Yeah, it was nice to have a. But you know what? Every time after 4 days of no, I'm so happy to be back on reading Price and going back. You know, having fun with you guys and reading the chat and just going over Price again. 4 days is actually enough for me. I do enjoy it, but I miss going over the markets and I guess I'm a nerd. Um, it's also like sometimes when when you have these holidays and you have these half days, um, it can be a little bit confusing. Like, what levels do I need to use? So I, really want to get into it to see, okay, what is Price doing and what can I trust? And so that's why I'm reading Price as well now and just going over more tape reading than actually trading just to see if I'm on the bull. Um, but I think Price is not moving too bad. I think it is tradable. The GC broke out, did it? That's not really. That's just one candle. That is just a little bit of, you have accumulation and then it's just, I wouldn't give it too much of a thought, to be honest, but here on the higher time frame. I'm not interested. I'm really not interested um, in this price action here, to be honest. Um, yeah, we're just stuck between this gap here, which is already filled. I don't think it's. I wonder if it's going to go up higher. I would be really surprised, to be honest. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. We're just going to keep an eye on it. I had a great time with my family traveling out of the country today, off to my partner's country. Okay, Michelle, what flag is that? I just don't know. I hate that I don't know the flag. I should know the flags. I've worked in tourism for a long time. Help me. I'm ashamed that I don't know the flag. Um, where are you based yourself, by the way? And which flag is that? I just don't know. See how we are respecting the first presented fair value gap of London? Nigeria. Okay, gotcha. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. And you are based where? Oh, you're in Britain. Okay, gotcha. Oh, at least you're going to better weather, right? You're escaping the winter on the European continent. I escaped the winter there. That's why I'm living here in South Africa. But you guys are seeing sun right now, but the whole 4 days was just wind, rain. It was great. I almost got depressed. Like I was like I used to get that not that I'm depressed by nature, but when it was really raining and just gray, I had that in the Netherlands in autumn a lot. It's just, boring. And I felt this first time here in South Africa, I had like, oh my God, when is this rain going to stop? Just the grayness. I don't mind rain, but just the grayness. Hey, Rajesh. Ah, but yeah, complaining about the weather. I'm just very lucky that I have sun today. I'm definitely gonna enjoy the sun later today. escaping the winter. Yes, Michelle, you'll love South Africa. I mean, Africa, the continent is. I just love the continent, to be honest. I mean, it has its issues, but there is something magical about Africa. It really has. I mean, I love Africa. Hey, Tamir, I already said hello to you. I've already seen your hi before. Oh, you know Rajesh? I was confused because I have another Rajesh, and I was like, hey, did he changed his name? Did he add an A? So that's why I was like Rajesh and then A. But okay, you're new. Welcome to the family. Welcome. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly, you got it. Yes, you understand it exactly. It's just where you find the things that works for you the best, right? It's like balancing out a few things, and then you make up the balance. Okay, where is my quality of life better? I like a simple life, so. Are there a lot of lions here in South Africa? Yes, we have lions. We have a lot of wildlife reserves here. I used to live in the bush. I'm going back to the bush, by the way. But they are like if you go to Namibia and Botswana, there are no fences. But I think more Botswana, I guess. But here in South Africa, we do have the only thing that roam freely, not in this area where I'm right now, but are the leopards because they can jump the fences. But in Limpopo, near Kruger, we have leopards roaming around at night everywhere because they can just jump the fences. But lions, technically, they stay within in the wildlife reserve, which is gated, which is fenced, and which is managed, right? Um, but you have to go through two specific areas and wildlife reserves like Kruger, and there are many more. But leopards roam everywhere in those areas where I used to stay. But I'm going back to that area in about, I think within a year, I'll be back in that area. I miss the area, to be honest. I just love the bush. So I like this area too where I'm right now. This is like a little beach place, little beach town, and we also have wildlife reserves nearby. So sometimes I go there, but I just really love living in the bush. So, but the problem is Wi-Fi. So that's why I'm staying here right now because oh, I love cats. I love the domestic big cats. I love them. No, I don't carry guns for protection. We just don't walk around at night. We can sit on our terrace. If you have like a terrace, you sit outside, and it happens sometimes that you're sitting and suddenly in the tree you see a leopard, and you're like, okay, let's get inside. But when we go to neighbors, you take your car, and you have to be very careful at night. You don't walk around at night. You're on the bottom of the food chain in the bush. Um, and also, where I used to live, we have hippos in the river, and you just have to be careful. But then it's like you get mutual respect. You sort of like know how to. You don't swim in those rivers. Obviously, there's also crocodiles. Um, but at night you just don't walk around. You're very careful at night. But in daytime we can walk around there. That's not a problem. But you don't walk around in a big five reserve because then obviously you can run into rhinos, buffalo. So technically you can live there, but then you drive from your home to the gate, and then you have your own fenced garden, for example. That happens. But no, it's not really scary. It's really not. I mean, I'm more scared of people. The only problem that I'm afraid of break-ins are from the baboons. But in other areas, it's people breaking in, and there it's like baboons breaking in. But I'll tell you one thing: if you have a baboon break-in, it's not fun. I mean, you have to redecorate, really. They are the Vikings. They just destroy everything. That's my only. I'm not afraid of. Well, actually, I am afraid. They are scary because they can be very aggressive. Um, but mm, it's not really. It's just a different lifestyle, I guess. I like it. Yeah. No big cats. Yeah. But you know, there's so many problems with poaching and stuff like that. I wonder how long we will have all the wildlife, because it's a big issue. So that's why I came to South Africa, to contribute to conservation. That was actually the main cause for me moving to here. So, but I'm a little bit sidetracked now with that, but it's okay. Need to make money, right? And this is I mean, trading is for me. Yes, yeah, that's why I said we probably most likely have to wait until the next macro, the 350 to 410, and we don't mind that, right? We don't mind. As you can see, we're working our way into that premium wick. So we're on our way to that 50% and maybe even lower, because there's liquidity below that one. And we are here also, we have an order block here as well. Let's see how far we can go into this. If we can go below it, or are you just going to reject here? Because once we are here, we're going to go into discount. Now the question is, how low are we going to go? And also the other question, when? When? When are we going to go there? That's not too bad price action. I mean, we had worse. Yeah, I think it might go to 25, 65-ish, 64, 65 max. Let's see. Okay, because we wanted to go a little bit below the 0 point, this level, right? This is a discount of that dealing range. Rajesha, we are already on the sell side of a market maker. Well, actually, technically we're almost on the higher time frame. We could be done in this market maker model, but we'll see how far. Because technically, it already, when you have a market maker buy side, sell side, it goes back to original consolidation, right? Now let's see. What will be the original? I think this will be the original consolidation today, but we'll see. It could be here. We could have a wick on the higher time frame, and it could be done, right? So it's, for example, if we go into this area and then go back up, because it could be done, right? The sell side is finalized on this. If you look at this one here, see, and if you look on the 4-hour, I'm bullish. I'm bullish higher time frame, but also here I'm like, okay, are we sell side, buy side? Is this a retracement to go further up, or are we done going up, right? So this information here will give us some more insight. If we go really much lower than this one here and go into this area here, so let's see. We can go low a lot. Here we have a, ooh. Well, we already have a change in state delivery, right? I mean, we can see that, right? Everybody can see that. So we're going to go lower for a while, I think. A large inversion here. We're definitely in the sell in a distribution on the 4-hour, but yeah, I think 765. Here we go. We're dropping. Almost at this important level, and then let's see, 330. You want to see London low being formed latest about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Let's see what we get. Listen, if it doesn't, it would be a nice scenario actually if we do not, for example, it's 3:30 now, and we reverse here, and they leave this level. That might be interesting for maybe the New York session. That's actually quite interesting if they would do that, because technically it took liquidity here. It is rejecting in this. It could reject from here, right? With this order block at the moment. Let's see, because it's 3:30. What it's going to do? Can we calculate something? I want to calculate. It's so hard to use these levels here. So let's see if we're going to reverse here, just above, or are we going to take that 0.5 level? So, 2.5, 3, 4. Let's see. Okay, 331. Now this is very bearish. I mean, it looks very weak, right? I mean, on the higher time frame. Let's look at 4-hour. You look so weak. I think it's beautiful price action, to be honest. It's a little bit too slow for me to anticipate, but I mean, in all honesty, if I journal this, I'm like, I mean, hey, Shuki Yasin, I'm in a sell. Nice, 7-8. Just be careful. We are getting into discount very quickly. 6, 7, 8. Oh, you are from 25, 6, 7, 8. You mean in a buy, or we have not reached 6, 7, 8, Shuka? And okay, we touched premium discount 2.5 right now. Now this will be the area. If you're in a short, you want to take a partial. I mean, guys, do not enter a short in this area, okay? That is not smart to do. This is the area where you take your profit, you take your partial, or where you leave a runner, but you do not enter here, okay? We're hitting exactly 50% of the dealing range and also 50% of that wick. You do not want to go short here. Either you already went short a while back, and this is where you exit. This is not where you enter. Also, time is against you, because London, you want to see the low form between at latest 4 o'clock, right? You could be lucky, it could run, but this is not a smart move if you sell now in this area. They might go a little bit lower, but be careful. I'm just warning you guys. Yeah, right now we hit discount. It could be enough for it to just spike back up. 333. Be careful. Now I do think it might go a little bit lower, but it could spike back up all very quickly. I will be looking for a long here. Who's with me looking for a long instead of short? Just curious. Yeah, look, Dean is already saying I'm waiting for for a market structure shift on the 15 minutes. So he's already anticipating the market structure shift. Let's go to the 15. I'm with Dean. Hell no, I'm not looking for a short at this moment. Yeah, Dean, I'm with you. I mean, it might go lower a little bit until 4, but I would not take the risk because we hit the 0.5 of a dealing range, which is, you can always expect, and also it's 2.5. You know, I calculated the standard deviation as well. It's exactly 2.5 here. Now, what can you expect at 2.5? I am in from 25, 6. I don't see 25, 6, 7, 8. We are 6, 7, 8 is much lower. 25, 6, 7, 8. You mean there is no 25, 6, 7, 8. We are here. We're still above 25, 6, 7, 8. Are you in CFD, Shuki Yasin? I thought you were going to enter at 25, 6, 7, 8 because we're not there yet. I mean, I think you're on a CFD, right? If I'm correct. Your price is different than mine. We might go a little bit lower and tag this little fair value gap here that I'm, let's see. So on NQ, what you can, most of the times again, when you reach 2, 2.5, we could go back into, but I don't see a lot of imbalances to be honest. So we might just continue lower in this situation. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so your levels are a little bit different. Sorry, am I confused? I thought you were going to enter at 25, 6, 7, 8, which we are almost entering now here. You see? So I'm like, oh my God, don't go short now. I do think we're going to go a little bit lower here, but just be careful, guys. There might be a little bit. There are hardly any imbalances, so it could have another run to the downside and also here into this area because there are hardly imbalances. So let's see how far it could go all the way to. It could, but if you have a runner, let it run. But if it goes without you, just let it go. Just don't feel any FOMO, okay? You just don't feel any FOMO, okay? You just don't want to take, even though it goes, you let it go because it's too late to enter here. We just let it go. We just watch it. Okay, we're in discount now. Hey Jasmine, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the family. Now you look at 2.5. You see there is. You look. Okay, where are the imbalances? There's one here, but would it go all the way back to take that? You don't. Yeah, it could, but is it highly likely it will have a continuation? Yes, because also we have this gap here, and but we're just you just let it run because it's just you're not taking the risk unless you have a like Shukiyasin. Well, here there you go. He's in from Asia Open, and like we are already looking for a long, or we're just waiting for a long, right? Um, And if you have a runner, perfect, you let it run. But you do not enter here, even though you know it's going to run because you already see, okay, there's not many imbalances. It's most likely going to run, but you just don't want to enter in London. Yeah, that's really nice, Shukiyasin. Well done. And patience. And you use time, right? 320 to 40, but you want to be careful around the around this time as well. This might be quite it might get very fast and violent to the downside. This one is gonna be. Okay, let's see. What low is it here? Are we gonna take these lows? The low is 750.75. Oh, you're looking at a gap that hasn't been filled. Good, nice. Which one is it, Shukiyasin? I took it off, I guess. Let me have a look. Mm, this is so annoying. It used to give me the 1 hour gaps as well because I have more insight, but now it doesn't show me the. Okay, here I got it. Sell side, buy side. This is. You just have a little gap here. This area here. Mm, under 622. Ooh, why did I miss? How did this happen? Here is my gap. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, don't tell me. I know you have a different. Yeah, the CFD might be a little bit different, but I don't see any gaps until unfilled gaps until here. But let's see. It's 344, 25,600. Yeah, you got a runner, so you're in profit, so you're in a good place. You're in a good. Just be careful once we start getting to. Just watch on the 15-minute if we get a change in the state, or on the 5-minute, right? For if it reverses, just yeah, just don't give back too much of your profit. You have such a nice trade. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the 15-minute. Okay, we've got some. Okay, so we've got some gaps now and some imbalances, right? We didn't have them here before, so that's why you could anticipate a little bit of a move lower. Now, I still wouldn't enter a short at that time, but if you have a runner, it was safe to let it run from here. You don't want to enter a short from this in this position anymore. I mean, I would not, but um, okay, let's have a look at the 4-hour again. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, we mitigated this whole wick, so this can go off. Now, always when you enter like an inversion like this, right, and it's so large, we already had consolidation, but you can also be prepared for some more consolidation in this area once we get into this. This is a large area. Let me see in the 1-hour if it's smaller. So I'll take the smaller one. Yeah, I'm gonna take the smaller one here. It's here. It's a little bit more accurate. Now you see where this. Go back to the 4. You see where the standard 6 deviation is, right over here, right? 656. Okay. It's a very nice distribution candle. I love this. I mean, I always get like, people that know me now by now, I love distribution, and I'm okay not to be in it, but next year I will be in most distribution candles, especially the 4-hour, because that's my favorite. But this, I just love to see it, to watch it as well. Makes me very excited. Okay, let's see. Now this is not an order block that has been respected, so now let's see this one here. This is a beautiful distribution candle. Beautiful. 25,480. We have a 1 hour FUG. Yes. What did you say? 25. No, I'm looking at this one already, actually. That's where we are right now here. We are going to use this wick now. Let's see what we're doing. I just love these larger distributors, even though it's more slow. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now 722. Let's see if we're going to get a reversal with the 350 to 410 macro, if that's going to be it, or is it going to go lower? We are hitting consolidation area again, so I'm just wondering if, look how the 721 level, it's exactly 0.5 and standard deviation 4, and we tap right into original consolidation. And later on, look at these juicy ones here. J for your 1 hour equal lows here. They're going to be in play at some point. Oh yeah. Ba, 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 bum. Remember also what's interesting, guys. I don't know for those who look at the TGIF moves, right? The Friday moves, TGIF candle, the weekly. So Jay, do you use do you look at TGIF? Do you use TGIF levels on the weekly as ICT teaches it? Now, what I also do, let me just go to the monthly quickly. It might be a little bit messy here because there's a lot of information on my chart. This is the monthly candle. You see we're getting a doji candle now. What if we're starting to go bullish, or bearish, I mean. Let's start putting on the monthly. What if we are going to do a TGIF to the downside? We could do one to the upside, but we could also do one to the upside. So I'm using the monthly candle. If we're going to go lower, this is a probability. So what you can do when you have like the month, and this is what we have right now, right? Because we have a month ending and the week ending. You can use them on both and see if you have overlap. So we have 2 more days to go, so we'll keep an eye on that. Because the weekly candle is obviously, where are we in the weekly? We're still here, but we're gonna keep an eye on it. A lot of information on my screen, but this is for in 3 days. This is for the end of the week here. If we're going to stay bearish. But there's not that much, right? It could go lower and go back into the range, so we'll see. But it's always good for me. I always have those. I always look at the monthly. We're nearing the. I use, it's all fractal, right? It's not like TGIF is only for the weekly candle. It's for every. It's for every candle. 4 hour, 1 hour, 1 minute, 30 seconds, right? Everything is fractal. Now ICT teaches it for the way it's the easiest to the high probable scenario, which is the weekly, is easy because you have Friday and then you look what's happening. But it happens on every candle, but not always. It's the same thing. We don't always have TGIF, right? But we have it a lot. It's just OHLC, the open, high, low, close, or open, low, high, close, right? It's just the same thing. So every candle, you want candles with a wick, and then you have a retracement. And those are the retracement levels you look at. Now, did I miss something? Isn't this beautiful candle, guys? Isn't this just beautiful? Don't you find this beautiful? I just love these candles. So beautiful distribution. I don't mind that I'm not in it. It's okay. But I love watching it. Got a nice little gap here. I think this gap will be. We're not going to reach that in London. I think that will be in New York session most likely. Now let's see. We're in this fair value gap 4 hour here, and we're already below it. Hold on. We're going into this wick now. $355. Oh, we're in the macro area. I'm talking too much. You talk too much, woman. Hey, Papacito. Good morning and happy Monday. I know the holidays are so already, but I still want to. Yes, thank you so much, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday, Christmas too. Wishing everyone calm and clean, and especially to our men to the guys to the group. Oh, thank you so much. That is such a compliment that you're giving me. You make me shy. Yes, and it's the last few days of the year, right? So we just want to read price and just go over price section and just hang out with you guys and make sure that nobody loses money. Yeah, I'm very excited about the new year, guys. I'm honestly, and I'm just loving to see, if I see a candle like this, price is moving in this way. It's just, even though it's slow, it's still beautiful, and it's still, especially those who got in. We're currently below Asia, and right now, if we want to enter a deal, we have to watch FUG, and there's a sell to enter or a buy. So yes, now we just wait. If you have missed a move like this, you just don't want to chase because you don't know where it's going to. And especially around this time, most of the times, the London high or low will be formed between 2:30 and 4 a.m. So if you have seen a move like this already been going on and on, you just don't want to enter right now because the odds are a little bit against you. Now it could still work out, but you just have to be careful. and it's better just to wait. There's always another trade, guys. And it's also training. Also, I'm training myself because, you know, I'm very honest about my issue. That's impatience. So I'm also training myself to be, you know, just reading. I'm using also the end of the year as an excuse not to trade anymore, just to watch price and be okay and enjoy it. Really just enjoy it and just, you know, learning from it, journal it, and, you know, just practicing not being in a trade and being okay with it and not feeling FOMO. And I really, because I know there will be trades again, and it's missing one trade doesn't mean you're not going to have your P&L will actually be greener by trading less. But, and you know, for me, just if we now see that price is moving this way and we know our levels, you'll see you have so much more advantage as well in New York session. Now, I think for me, in all honesty, I must admit that I am more at ease missing trades in London because I know we still have New York coming. Full transparency here. But also in New York session, I am practicing more and more just to be okay with it. But this is the easier part because being in London and just looking at levels and sometimes missing, or having a red day in London, I usually tend to make it up in New York because those levels, they always come back into play at some point, but then you just read them better because you had made one mistake, for example, right? But anyway, yeah, so good point for people who say, yeah, but you were in here in a short and you got out. Yeah, because I wasn't sure what the market was going to do. But I'm going to journal it, and next time I'll stay in it because I probably missed something that would have given me the confidence to stay in longer. And I'm just very careful around this time, but then again, maybe everything pointed out, because if you look carefully, well, I was actually using this as okay, we could still go up and, you know, tap into this imbalance, but we did not. Now, why? I need to figure out why. There's probably something I just really missed. But, so I journal that, and then, you know, next time I'll be in it when my money is in play again. Because these are the moves that I just love. How many points are we actually already? Okay, let's see. 4 o'clock. What are we doing? It's a beautiful move, guys. That means the market is feeling good. The market had a laxative. Now I got in here. Let me see how many points did I. See, it's not really that. It's just 100 points. Well, okay, it's not just 100, but it's 100 points. So that's. Yes, but we are below Asia. But look, I want to point out we have a lot of Asias that have not been mitigated yet. Let me just point that out in the 15 minutes. So we could go we could take out a couple of Asias. We have one Asia here. Asia, London. Oh, we already took that one as well. I think you were referring to that one, yeah? Okay. No, sorry. Okay. I thought you were referring to this one, but look here, we took out this one now. I wasn't really realizing we already did, but we did. And then we don't have another Asia. That is, how many Asias do we have that have not been mitigated? Well, one more here, 654. There's also a way of looking at the market, right, guys? If you don't, okay, how much low? Okay, we took this one out here. If you see, like, if they left them, you can use those as well. Like, okay, how much lower can we go? How much Asias have we took? So we took out this Asia as well. Okay, now let's see. Now I'm getting interested in a long maybe here. Maybe not too much of a long, but let's see. Beautifully touched on this level, so we might get a retracement here, or we are going to get a retracement here. But is it a retracement or a reversal, right? think we looks like continue. We're going to continue. Dean, you think we're going to continue lower, right? I don't think we're going to get a reversal yet. I don't think the time is right. Are you? What do you think, Dean? We're still not at 0.4. I think we have more room into this inversion here that I marked. So okay, it's been 4 o'clock. Did we? I was again. I forgot about the news. I checked the news already, but I already forgot about it. I think. Yeah. Okay. We got pending home sales at 10 a.m. But it's an orange folder, guys. But it's still interesting enough to 10 o'clock, but not at 8:31 though. Hey, Jamali Beats, how's it going? How's everyone so far and the holidays? I had an awesome. I binge watched, like I said, a couple of series. I really enjoyed that until I was really fed up with it, like really bored. Like, oh my god, I really want to. But I didn't come to so many series that I wanted to watch, and I did now, so I'm caught up with the ones that I really want to see. And I was really happy to be back on the charts. Okay, let's have a look at the. How about you? What did you do? Did you have a nice holiday? Some extra days off? Okay, guys, let's have a look. We can make an inversion here. I'm on the 5 minute here. I want to see 5 minute inversion. Then I'll go to the 15 on this one, and let's see if I can enter a short, long. Jamali Beach, are you looking for a long now? I think I know your trading style now. You've been waiting patiently, and now you're like, okay, I'm ready for. I think if this is, I think I might enter on. I'm just paper trading, guys. Just full transfer. I'm not putting any money on the line. I've closed all my accounts. I locked myself out for until I think the second, but I think I'm going to do it until the 5th. Hello, hello, my kitty kitty. Hi, Poppy. You're so cute. You're so pretty. Okay, let's see, guys. If we're gonna go, if we close this one above here, I'm getting in. Hey Norik, you've been watching me for a month and you didn't subscribe sooner. Did I need to prove myself? Oh, thank you so much. You guys, you don't have to I have to thank you guys. Guys, I have to thank you. Um Thank you for subscribing and thank you for supporting. So this has been my biggest gift, the YouTube channel and you guys. I mean, I'm like I said, every time I'm like, oh my god, I want to go online to stream because I just looking forward to hang out with you guys again and chat and go over price and make money together. Now it's the end of the year, so I'm in the scalp up. Yeah, I'm waiting for a 5 minute. I want to close above this inversion and then I'll enter. But yeah, there's a lot of things I'm planning to do in the new year as well, and build the community further, and just build further on what has been already. The foundation has been already laid, and that is just I just cannot be more appreciative of you guys. Oh, and by the way, big news. I've actually reached monetization. So that's extremely fast for. So that's like, you know, you have to reach 3,000 view hours and 500 subscribers. Now, obviously, I've gone over that, the 500, but yeah. So I got a note from YouTube that I reached 3,000 view hours. So thank you, you guys. Thank you for that. I don't know if I want that, by the way, Jamali Beach, to be honest. If it comes with a lot of trolls, but then again, we can make a chat only for members only, right? I mean, we'll see how it goes. You guys decide. It's all about you guys, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you again, guys. I mean, I really want to express my thanks. Yeah, and I just love doing this. So, I mean, I just love doing these streams. That won't change in 2026. I can guarantee you that. Okay, here we go. I'm thinking of, look, we're looking at, just really want to see closure on a 5 minute. Look, this is like, I think this is going to be like a small, we're going to get a small retracement, but on the 1 minute, we're going to get a new market. You can see that, right? Sell side, buy side. I'm getting in. I'm taking a bit of a risk here, but I'm going to take a low risk. I'm a little bit too early, but I'm paper trading. Thank you, Shuka. I appreciate that. Thank you. I never ask for it because I don't see any, for me, it's actually, I mean, either you like it or if you don't like it, also let me know, right? I hate it when people ask me if I look at a stream and they ask already in the beginning, oh, like, and I'm like, hey, you didn't even start yet. What is it that you like, right? But hey, also just if something you didn't, also share it, you know. But I appreciate it, Shuki. Stop loss. I'm gonna take this low here, and I'm just gonna write them. Look, this is all engineered. I think this is just all engineered liquidity to be taken up to the upside. Could be wrong. I'm gonna take it all the way up. This is my trade. Now, see, I'm not waiting for the 5 minute closure, so that could be my mistake. See, there's impatience. My impatience is kicking in, guys. You see that? This is me being impatient. I'm paper trading, but if I get stopped out, I'll be annoyed because I'm too impatient because I didn't wait for a 5 minute closure. So I'll showcase you how you lose money by being impatient. Because I treat my if it's a green trade, I actually don't deserve it, to be honest, because I got impatient. Did you see that? Because I said I want a 5 minute closure and I get in already. You see what happened and how you see how it went. So FOMO, see, well, yeah, but it's just really weird. I say it, I say, okay, I'm gonna wait for a 5 minute closure, and the next, within 1 or 2 minutes, I'm getting in, and I hear myself saying it, but it doesn't make any sense because I just put myself up to risk for a losing trade on stream. It's a paper trade, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Well, if I just waited, I could have still entered in a short, right? And not have it. So I'm just leaving it. I cannot touch it. But it is really, really weird how the mind works. So if I get in, and it's also really weird because I got in after I'm not using a macro, I'm not using anything. That was FOMO. Yeah. No, it's okay. I mean, I have no shame in it because I know it's something I still fall, and it just happens like this if I don't follow my rules. But you see how quickly it happened, and then I'm like, oh shit. Um, I'm not trading time. I'm out of my macro, and I just thinking, okay, I'm using the logic. Okay, the low most of the times is formed between before London lows at 4, but it doesn't. There are times that it doesn't happen. That it just keeps on going lower. This might be one of them. So I'm using one logic, but not using any other. I'm not looking at price action. I'm just using one thing and just want to be in because I've been looking at time for 2 hours or 1.5. But this was a FOMO trade, but it's okay. I'm not losing it. It's a paper trade, but it's still that. Well, I guess you guys can reckon. Everybody knows that we all do it, right? But FOMO trade. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna shame myself. No, I'm just joking. It's okay. I mean, it's. I'm gonna put it out there. FOMO entry. There you go. There's a FOMO entry. Even if it's green, it's a FOMO entry. Hey, Doobie brother. Well, see, actually, you guys are actually giving me a. You're actually rewarding me. Thank you for subscribing, Doobie brother. For the bad things. FOMO entry. There we go. But let's see if my TP is okay. But I should have been waiting. Okay, right? So 5 minute inversion here. Wait for the. And you'll see, guys, it will probably go lower again. It will retest this inversion. So even though you missed this, you'll see you have another entry. Let's go over it. Breaker. Okay. Oh, no. FOMO. Hey. No, 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 no. Your FOMO entry needs to be clear here. If you have a FOMO entry, it's okay, but it's not okay with 94 ticks. Let me put it that way. If it would be like only like 10 ticks or maybe let's say 25 max, then you can take that little risk, right? But not with 94 ticks, right? If that makes sense. Also, I'm actually have to adjust my. I think I went in too fast. Let me just calculate a few things. Yeah, this. So you just want to take it to original constellation. I have to bring it a little bit lower. So this is 2. We are exactly at 2 here in the fair value gap. Let's see, we reject from here. If it's just a retracement, what time is it? 4:16. No, I think we're going to go higher because of time. Yes, exactly. Well, you saw how fast it went, right? I said, okay, I'm going to wait for a 5 minute closure, and just it was not even 1 minute later. I was like, okay, I'm going to enter, and the 5 minute closure was right over here. You want really a closure over this one and this one, and then you enter here, right? You're right over here. But now the only thing is that you're going into a fair value gap straight away, so you might not want to do it because you could think, okay, I don't want to get in here because we might reject here already because we're in a gap. So So technically, would you take that trade if you have a gap here, right? You have an inversion, but you don't have a breaker here. You have your first breaker is here, the first one that makes sense, right? But using the logic like, okay, we could have formed the low of London, but then again, I don't know, might be stopped out. Yeah. Are there any other imbalances? Not really, right? If you look at this here, it's already mitigated. Are we just going to go up, up? Here. We have another gap here. My TP is on your 2.5 trailing. Yeah, I'm also, well, I think if we are going to go higher than this, then we also might want to go here. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave my, I'm not touching my, I might trail my stop at some point, but I'm gonna leave it just because I don't wanna, I just have to journal them the way that I put them on. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But if we get a distribution now, then I'll move my TP to, now actually, you know what I'm wondering, guys? I say it's a FOMO entry, but I'm just wondering if I could have taken this as my, I actually included this, but if I look at this, I think I have to look into that on my other journal. Like if I take a candle, Jamali Beats or anyone else who has, who trades, I want to go over something because I have a question for you guys as well. I actually include the whole, this candle and to, well, actually to here, I guess. I was on the 1 minute or on the 5 minute. I think I was on the 5 minute. Yeah, okay, I used the 5 minute. There we go. That was my mistake. But on the 1 minute, I think if I look on the 1 minute, I might have just taken this and then this candle would have given the closure. You go into consolidation and then you have the move up, right? Just, how do you guys go at it? If you have this structure, so you have one big displacement and then two of these suspension blocks, so to speak, would you consider this on the 1 minute? I'm not talking 5 minutes. This candle will be the closure and then you can enter in this whole consolidation and then take it up. But this one is bothering. I mean, this one is a little bit bothering me. Like, do you consider... we also have a flat here. No, I think it's going to go higher because we have flat tops here as well. I'm just wondering if I would have taken the one, I think I wouldn't have seen it as a FOMO trade, maybe because then I consider this to be the inversion. And then anything below this area would be a valid entry. But then this will be a little bit tricky, right? Let's see. Hey, let's see how we are OTEing. Let's do some OTEing. OTE, OTE, where are you? Oh, I hate that. Why am I don't want you to move. I don't need you. I want my OTE to move. Okay, well, never mind. So on NQ, on the mini, it's one tick is 20, it's $20 per point, and so it's $5 per, yeah, $5 per tick. But that's the thing. I actually don't want you to look at Shukiasi, and that's why I'm putting the ticks on, to let go of the money amount. So the point of using the ticks is to let go of the money amount and focus more on the process. That's why I took it off, because I sometimes have really large moves, 60 to 150 points on NQ, because I take, so the money amount could be a little bit overwhelming, especially, and it doesn't mean anything because I just could do it. Sometimes I do it with minis, but I could also do it with micros, right? So yeah, so micro is $2, no, $2 per point, but 50 cents per tick, right? If I'm correct. Is it 25? I think it's 200. 20. And ES is 50 points per, I believe ES is 50. Yeah, but let's not focus on that too much, guys. That's why I want to focus on the on more on the pro. You know, Ahmed, he made a very good comment this morning. He didn't look at his P&L for 2 months, and he's gonna get a payout of, I believe, 6 or 7K. And he says I just focus on the process mainly, and that really helped him a lot. So, and I really like that because yeah. No, it's not confusing. It's one. The MNQ is always 1/10 of the mini, also on ES, right? But yeah. Again, for those who are starting out, the breaker retest trade. If you want to, you know, the 2R trade that I always go over. Um, this is a break. You can consider this a valid breaker. The breaker always can give you 2Rs if you you just put your stop below the breaker, right? Let me see, and then here you go for 2R. And I just put it on for you guys to see how, and I want you guys to back test it if you want like just a very mechanical trade. 2R, let's see, where's 2R? Here you go. Now we haven't even reached that, but let's see if we can reach that. If it's, sometimes it doesn't work. Gold and silver, I don't, I know I had a few good trades on gold. I think gold is per, the normal gold is 200, is it 200 per, I think it's, no, I think it's 200 per point or something. It's a lot of money per point. Can somebody maybe correct me if I'm wrong? I think it was 200 per point even on gold. Let's have a go. And then the micro is $20, I believe. So a tick is 1/4, right? So then one tick on gold is $50. But I'll Google it just to make sure. But I played a few micros and I was like, holy crap! And I had like I think it was a 150 point move, and I was like, what the f? My P&L was just what? It was just one or two micros. I was just like, and I was like, okay, wow. What is gold per tick futures? It's $10 per tick on gold GC. Oh, so it's not too far. It's $10. I thought it was more. Am I confused? What is gold futures per point GC? I thought I'm. Okay, so for the standard gold futures contract, symbol GC on the CME, that's the one we are playing, one full point move is worth $100. And, oh yeah, okay, per tick is 1/10, oh, obviously. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I'm just thinking because we go in quarters with the NQ, right? So it makes sense. Yes, so one tick is $10. Okay, and we've got 10 ticks per point. Okay, so it's $100 on gold per point and $10 per tick. Okay. Okay, now let's see if somebody would have taken the breaker, but we didn't have a retest, right? So it's not like a normal breaker retest trade because there is no retest, but you've got the consolidation again. I noticed that lately. So you've got the activation of the breaker with this one here. And then here, this one is it. You get in here, and then you have 2R, but that's so little. I don't like it. It's not my. I don't really like it, but. Okay, 2.5. Let's see. 430. No, Ajinka, I think silver is even different. It's different than gold, but gold is $100 per point, $10 per tick. Okay, we are at 2.5. So yeah. So Jamali Beach, you're out, right? You took your TP. Yeah. 430. I wonder if this is the move. I mean, because the breaker also doesn't give a lot of. It's a very small move that it gives right here. Very tiny. So your 2R is so limited. So I might be. This is the 2. It's even here. Hello, Saturday. Saturday. Hey, that's funny. I hear myself saying it. Saturday. I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa. What about yourself? So we rejected here. Hey, Jonathan. Yes, that could be the case that I am popping up on your feed. That is what the algo is starting to do more and more now. So welcome. I'm just paper trading at the end of the year. Just going over TP. But welcome. Yes, I definitely teach. Well, I just go over my logic and how I implement the price. But I mainly use so I do use ICT logic, and I implement a lot of time-based. I've made it my own with a lot of more. I trade time actually more than price actually since a while. So, but I do look at PD arrays, and um, I'm a sucker for the algorithm. I have journaled so much that I really reverse engineered, gone into rabbit holes, just to figure out, where could my edge be, and we have an edge because everything is really there's an algorithm, and that makes our life a lot easier by figuring out, okay, where are the signatures of the algorithm. So for example, I'm leaving my trade on, but I would have been out already. But for example, when I showed you guys this breaker retest, for example, did you see where the 2R was? It's very weak, right? That's already indicating to me, like Jamali, he said already, I'm going to macros. Yes, macros, but even more time. There's so much more than to macros than there's so much more to time than only macros. But yes, macros are a big part of my trading style. Exactly. But I use the macros so much more. I calculate from them. I look. This is a macro that I always in the London I always put on, and I use that information, and I figured out that this first percent fair value gap that is created between 130 and 2 comes into play a lot of times. So I'm still backtesting that one. But yes, definitely macros, but there's also the 20 to 40 range. Um, so there's so much to time. Everything is in cycles, right? So, and that's why I was saying the whole session, like, okay, we're going to move, but when are we going to move? But it was a beautiful distribution so far. I mean, so, why is this a low probability trade? I'm not getting out of the trade, Jonathan, even though it's going down, because I entered on a FOMO. I have FOMO also sometimes, and I fell for it this morning on stream. So here I'm shaming myself. So I have to. So why am I leaving it on? Because I journal my trades just like I journal my paper trades just as I journal my normal trades. And now normally I would have gotten out here at 2.5, but I'm just also journaling like what happened, what time what time did we get here? You see that 429, guys? Normally we make the low or the high in London um, between 2:30 and 4, right? But sometimes we go lower. But then you want to see why. What do we need for that to figure that out? Now, if this would be a breaker, a valid breaker. Now, guys, I also missed something else. I didn't check the 3-minute or the 5-minute if there was a breaker. Is there a break on the 3-minute? Could you call this a breaker? Yes, it is a up close candle, but you don't consider this really a breaker, right? This will be the first valid breaker, maybe. But if you don't see that, it's a very low probability, right? You see on the 5-minute, there's nothing. So this most likely is just going to be a little retracement to go further down, right? So normally I would already check the 3 and the 5, but I totally forgot to do that. So if I don't see a breaker on the 5, I don't consider that a high probability breaker on the 1. And like you saw, we didn't even get to the two standard deviation on the 1. Did you see that? I'll go over it again. Where is my thingy? Here. So I think we're gonna go lower again, but see here. So your 2R would be here. We didn't even reach that. That's 3 standard deviation. So we didn't even reach that. So, and why? Because no, Jonathan, I have a lot of entry models. I turtle soup, I use time, I use rejection blocks, I use or opening range. But I'm pointing out the breaker and the 2R trade for people that are new to show them like most of the times when you use the breaker retest, like obviously we don't even have a breaker. We're already below. Okay, one other thing, guys, we're already below this, but this so-called breaker, which is not a breaker, but we are below it already, so it's low probability, right? But I'm just going to point out for people that are new, the breaker retest, I showed them, okay, when you get in here, you get 2R. Most of the times it always works. When you have your entry above the breaker, the retest, and your stop just below it, you can always take a safe 2R. But here you can already see this one doesn't work. Why? Because there was no breaker on the 3 and the 5. You can see we're just, it's just not using this one. Now it could still go up because we're in a low probability time. Hey M2C, how are you? Yeah, I definitely we might go up a little bit higher, but you can already see how low probability it is, right? We already were below this one. Just leaving my trade on because I entered it and it was I already put myself to shame here. But because I said on stream, I'm going to wait for a 5-minute closure and then I might enter. But technically, after a larger move, I wait for 15 minutes. But then I didn't even wait for the 5-minute. I just entered, and so that's why I'm leaving it on, guys. So. Just to show you how low probability. Well, we did get the 5-minute closure, but there were other things. Like I said, why would you go enter a 5-minute closure when you have a fair value gap just above it, right? Why would you do that? Because you know it might reject from there. All those things because you're not thinking it through anymore. You just get FOMO and you just enter. But yeah, Jonathan, my favorite PD arrays are. I use all PD arrays, the least the order blocks, but I do recognize them. But my favorite are rejection blocks and breakers. But those are my favorite that I recognize. But not only. I don't use that only. I just look at the market, like where are we? Like if I use all my gaps and walks, I cycle through a lot of times and I think, okay, what's mitigated, what's not, where are all the imbalances in the gaps? And I use that specifically also to formulate my trades. Now we're at the end of the year, so it gets more and more easier now to see where are the imbalances left over and where's the liquidity, right? But then the tricky part is time. Like when is it going to go there? Are we just going to consolidate what we have been doing last week a lot of the times, or are we going to? We had a beautiful move this morning, I must say. I took a little paper. I'm just paper trading till the end of the year, but I had a paper trade in my macro. But I got out very soon because I was not sure if we might go higher again or we're going to go lower. So I got out and I just felt comfortable tape reading the rest. But it's a beautiful move. I like the way it's moving. So I really like it. So, and I know some people banked on it in the stream. So some people had some nice trades with that short, right? We really did well. Let me go back to the 4-hour. So now the only thing that I am cautious of if I would trade right now is this area. Why? Look at look at this. When you see a large inversion, like over here, now why is this block so large? Where's my 1-hour? What am I be doing? What am I doing here? This is incorrect. Something's off here in this area now. Don't know what. Where are we at? Oh, okay, I see. I'm too low. Yeah, we have to. I'm sorry, guys. I think I need to eat something. I'm not sharp enough anymore. Let me go to the 4-hour again. I think something moved by accident. Okay, we are below this. What did I mark? Okay, go back to the 1 hour. Here we go. Yeah, we need this area here. Okay, I did mark it correctly. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay, so I just want to point out this area here. Yeah, I marked this whole area here. But I'm just going to mark this now, just to make sure. I don't want to overcomplicate things. But you see, if I mark this area here, right? Did we mitigate this? Yeah, we did. So you see, we had some consolidation here. So you see, we have a lot of consolidation here. So now we're getting into this 1 hour inversion. So we can expect some consolidation. I think so too. Yeah, last weekend. Yes, I think so too. M2C, but I think it might be a little bit later today. For Lee Music, have you ever rage traded and risked everything at least once in your life? Risked everything or just well, not everything, but yes, I have. I definitely yes, I actually have. Yes, yes. Um, so it's very fascinating that even though the moment you start doing well and you have like a model and you start being profitable, it still happened a few times afterwards. So that really fascinated me, like what's going on. And then I actually made a video on it. It's on my channel. Because I was like, oh, you know, in life I'm technically quite disciplined, and what happens? I mean, I just don't understand. And I also saw other traders that I really respect, and I know they're very good traders. And but I didn't risk everything, because if you know, you use funded accounts and things. Well, I have actually blown up a few of my own accounts, but then again, I just, you know, I had money enough to you know, you trade again and you fund it again. But everything not, but I did, you know, like, you know, lost accounts. So in that moment, when that's your one account that you're trading, your evaluation, that's all you have at that moment, or all your funded accounts, or all your evaluations. Yes, I have gone that far that I lost all of them, definitely. And it's very frustrating when it happens and you don't understand it at that time, like, why is it happening? But I made a video on it because I find it so fascinating, because I have so much discipline in life, but with that, it still happens. But it's actually biology, right? Because it's the hormones that your brain makes, and how the market is actually being is programmed, and it feeds on it feeds off our fear and greed. So it's, you really need to trick your brain, and you have to be aware of what's going on, because the design of also time distortion, consolidation, like smart money is just accumulating orders because they have deep pockets. But if you don't know, like right now, I think I've gotten to a stage that I recognize time distortion quite well, and a manipulation, because I am an AMD trader, so I have been training myself to watch accumulation, wait for the manipulation, or trade it, and then trade the distribution mainly. So recognizing it helps me a lot now, but not recognizing it and being all the time stabbing at it, trying and not getting it, that did cause some anger in me, yes. And then well, rage is it's a weird word, but it is actually, sometimes I got really, really pissed, and then you start getting to that point that you start tripping, right? So yeah, actually I did. Yes, and we have no one to hold it, you know, and now we have each other as a community. That's why I'm not afraid to show this, because I'm like, you know, guys, you know, one time I had people in the chat were like, oh, hey, Iris, is that not are you over trading now? And, you know, people call me out and like, oh yeah, shit, I am. And I do the same with if I see you guys doing it, I say, hey, I don't think that's, you know, didn't you say you were, hey, Dean, it was you. You said, hey, I'm going to take a break. And then Dean came back 5 minutes. Hey, I entered a short. Dean, were you not stopping today? But he made the money back. But, you know, things like that. You need to have, we're by ourselves and nobody holds us accountable, right? So I'm being stopped out here. That's good because I need to journal this straight. Now, normally I would have gotten out here, guys, but just because it's a FOMO trade. No, this is Saturday. That is just the fascinating part. I mean, I don't have any addiction. I can try anything in life, but I can't get addicted, right? I know that because you know, I don't want to say I tried everything, but but I don't have an addictive character. You can put me in the casino, but I don't feel the need to, or if I win money, I can easily walk away because it doesn't interest me. But with trading, how is it possible that I did not have the ability to stop trading? Why? It's just so. That is the fascinating part. Like it is such because everybody says, "Oh no, I can trade and I'll be happy with $100 per day." And I thought the same in the beginning. Oh no, I don't need much. You know, I just if I just make that, but that's not how it works. Your brain is being tricked so many ways, and you really need to figure out why. And everybody has different reasons, I think, because it's but yeah. So I love that question. Rage trade. I never actually used that word, but actually it is. I think it can be. Yeah, and it is not funny at all. And I've had a couple of weekends that I was sick to my stomach that I couldn't eat because I lost my accounts or I did something. Yeah, I've been there. So, and I think, you know, everybody's been there, most of us. And some people get over it quicker because they really work. You have to work on yourself and find out why, what is happening. And you have to trick. Now, the most important thing is, that's why I'm also tape reading now, guys. It's one of my reasons that I want to get more comfortable being not in trades and being really enjoying tape because, you know, my money is made from lesser trades and from the ones that I really, my models, I've got a few very solid models. I get in and I get 100 points in NQ and I'm done, you know, but then getting in on those little things, that's where you fuck up, right? But just being in, enjoying tape reading and just working on your models, working on other things and being on price and then attack as a sniper on those few times is something that I really start enjoying now more and more. I found meditation to help with that process. Yeah, I think I should get back into that as well. But for me, it's tape reading is actually a sort of meditation. I really enjoy it, and I'm so much clearer on price as well. Now you see, again, I want to point out the high and low that is being formed. Now we're not taking it out yet, but if the high low is formed in London, it could be taken out in pre-market, right? So we're getting to pre-market now as well. But talking about that, I think I should take a little break. I'll be back for New York. But it was such an insightful session for me to learn. And for me, I journal time. So if I go over this move, right, I journal, okay, what did we do? What did we start the move to the downside? What did I miss why did I get out on this move right over, where did I get out? I got out here somewhere, right? Now, if I could have re-entered here. This would have been a good entry and taken another move down. I know someone who has been trading only for 4 months and he has already 4 payouts. Wow, that 4 months, that's really amazing. If that's, but that's really. Hey, Jamali Beats, I see you later. That's really amazing. 4 months and just already having 4 payouts. That's already 1 month per payout. But let's see. I want to see if we created. Look, you see here, like we created here a breaker, right? For example. Now, did we take out liquidity? Are we rejecting here? Yes, we rejected. Did we reject here? Yes, we rejected. This is now a rejection block, right? So this could be. This is now a better structure. Look, you can see the difference between the structure, right? Your inversion, your breaker, and your liquidity that was actually created here, right? Here you go. At the 2.5 that is actually created. Let's see if we have a breaker on if this breaker here shows up on the 3 and the 5 minute as well. Let's see, guys. Also not. How does it look on the 5? I do still think we're going up higher. Let's see. I'm just curious if this, see, this is what I mean with more manipulation and stuff like that. Because we're still in this first presented fair value gap. Now let's see. Let's use the breaker logic on the 1 minute, because it can. Well, yeah, and maybe he's just, some people are just so smart that they can manage. I mean, listen, there are very smart people in the world, and I think it's also that hey, but Saturday you should have you asked him how he teach, what is his strategy, and what does he? I'm always curious about people who do it so fast. Either they're very disciplined as well, and they don't have any human they can shut off all human emotions. Some people can. If my ex would be a trader, he would be very good because he has no, well, he literally has no empathy. I mean, he's not, no, he knows that. It's his own words. So I think he doesn't have any he doesn't really complicate things, and he's very mechanical in his life, literally. So I guess. Um, he's also very stubborn. I wanted him to learn, but he says, no, I don't want to do anything that costs me more than 6 months. So that's why he thought he never started. But I think if he would start, he would be a very good trader because he's very disciplined, military discipline, and no emotion. He was trained special ops, so he had. I think they killed all the emotion out of him, so he was a robot. So he was a commando. So I think he would be a good trader, but. Let's see if this one works. It's only 1 minute, but sometimes those small trades, they can help, but this. So, you know why I'm still interested in higher, I didn't get stopped out, but, okay, so he has been paper trading before that, and his wife been trading for, okay, there you go. So he has been, well, so actually he's been very smart. He hasn't put his money on the line. And the moment he started, he's just been paper trading. So technically, he's been trading longer, but he didn't put any money on the line, which is smart. Yeah, I guess so, right? That's what I want for most people. I wish they don't make the mistakes that I made, like putting on money too fast and just paper trading longer, and just use the time to learn. And then when you really have a model that back tested, and you have like a model that really is solid, and then you put your money on the line, right? So if that's what I really want to help people do better than I have done that, right? Now let's see. I'm just curious if we make this. So we didn't make a we didn't make that 2R trade from that first attempt. Let's see if we can make that 2R trade. So just you take the bottom and the top, right? You got your retest right over here now. What time is it? We're in a macro. Let's see if we can get a 2R trade now. Now the other time, also we were not in a macro, remember? When I entered on a FOMO trade, that was not a macro. Now we're in a macro time. So this might work. 2R, guys, let's see. Let me just frame it properly, because it has to be exact. You can enter, it doesn't matter where you enter, but you frame your trade from the top, the entry, and the bottom is your stop loss. And if you get a better entry, if you're lower in the breaker, and then you take 2R. Now these are not my, well, it's still 20 points. Now I want to get back to 20 points because I've been trading only distribution moves lately, but for my next year I want to go back also to smaller trades. So I'm to 20 points, and because I know a lot of people trade that, I do both test. I have a prop and my own, but mostly on stream I do prop firms, evals or my funded. Just depends. Okay, let's see, guys, if this breaker retest. Here we have a retest. Let's see if we can get a 2R. We're in a macro. Let's see if we get, if it can make, I think it can go higher. I think this will, I think we can still go to the first percentage here. Let's see. So now you see what it did. It reject. This is a rejection block here, right? So this was a failure swing here, but this failure swing created the liquidity that's going to be taken out now. See, because this is the failure swing. So that's why you never want to enter again when you see like this inversion here is valid. Why? Because this inversion wasn't valid. That's why that was a FOMO entry on my end. I got in while there was a fair value gap here. Now Jamali beats got out here. So this was a very bad entry on my, now I haven't been stopped out because I didn't move my stop. But now it's a rejection time. You have an inversion. That's your breaker. It's a 1 minute, so you just take small trades, right? Let's see if we can make the 2R. After that trade, then I'm going to take a break. I can reprice all the time, but I just need to. I just try not to. See, let's see if we can make a 2R here. So 2R will be exactly here. Let me put my, I'll put my TP there. Is it correct? Yeah, I'm using this one. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be more. I'll do more of those in the new year as well. Just 2R shorter trades, but all mechanical, right? It's the point is to make trades as mechanical as possible. Just use, just okay. It's a breaker. We have a this candle here activated the breaker. Then you have a retest. Then you get in. Doesn't matter where you get in, but you still put the trade. Now I'm just wondering if I should use, is this, I'm just wondering if this is a down close or I should maybe do this here. This should be the trade, I think. It should be a little bit lower. What's happening? I hate that. This should be the trade. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So mechanical, I'm just using it from here. I'm just disregarding because I can't see if this doji is a down close or not. But just 2R, just getting used to 2R, right? So, so I've been trading now total ICT 3 years and total I think it's 6 years, 6.5 maybe in total now, because I'm already 4 months in the YouTube channel, so we're getting to, I keep saying the same thing, but time goes by. Time goes so fast, right? We're almost at the end of the year. It's crazy. So, but yeah, it's about being mechanical as possible. Oh, see, so especially 2.5 as well. Again, we'll see. We didn't get the 2.5 on this weird trade of mine, but we'll see if we can get it now. We still have the micro still going. I wanted to take out this liquidity because this is being created already and then it might go further down. But we don't need higher time frame. We're just consolidating, but within consolidation we might take this one out. Let's see if it does it. And the price action is not too bad, guys. I mean, I must say, we have 10 o'clock news as well, so now normally I would have already, I mean, this is not a trade that I normally, this should be in here, right? That's no 2R trade. See, that's weird. 40 and 60, that's not 2Rs, but this shows me 2R. That's incorrect. But you get the drill. That's weird, right? 2R should be 40, 80, but not 30. Something is off here. Oh, I see, I see, I see. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the point. $191, and then this is 2R. It's so annoying that it. Here we go. Here we go. It's still not correct, but I don't know why. But normally it's correct. Um, Hey MCC, yeah, no, normally, well, I guess today is not a perfect day, but most of the times when I showcase them, it gives a very proper 2R trade. It doesn't matter where you enter, but you calculate from here to here, and then you want to see going, you just take it and you run. You don't care how much higher it goes, you just take it and it's done, right? So it's very mechanical. You already have your confirmation of your inversion. Now, if you get more experience, you can take it off the inversion, right? But now you saw this inversion didn't work. Why didn't it work? See the difference of this setup and this setup here? And also you don't want to enter near an inversion which has a fair value, an unmitigated fair value gap above it. You don't. Now let's see if it can make this last little spike in the 5 minutes, or it's going to take another hour, or it's just going to go down. Because we are in a fair value gap. There is a fair value gap here. It could go retest the inversion. It's low probability now, guys. I mean, the low has been formed in London, so it's just going to futz around. But maybe it can take out this little 2R trade. I guess not. I guess it's just this. It's not going. No. Let's see. Let's give it a few more minutes. I guess not. This. We have changed in state. Now it's over and done with. So sometimes also in the macros. Yeah, I think we're going to go lower in well, maybe even pre-market now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised we're going to go lower now. Look, it's already created. You have a rejection block, but what happens? Rejection, then it becomes liquidity, right? So we'll see. You just have to be patient, guys. It's low probability area. I'm going to go. Oh, you love my accent? Well, I'm not. Well, I have spoken English most of my life, but I'm not English. I'm not born. I'm born Dutch. So, but I lived in Singapore, so I spoke English from a young age. But I still have this weird accent that people can recognize that I'm Dutch as well. We Dutch always have a weird accent, apparently, when we speak Dutch. When we speak English, you can recognize Dutch people when they speak English, no matter how long they've been living elsewhere. We have this weird accent. I guess. We can never hide it. So, but anyway, I'm still curious. We still have 2 more minutes. I just want to see if it could spike up a little bit. I guess not. I guess it's just gonna make liquidity. It's gonna make 1 hour babies. I call that 1 hour babies. Let me show you what I mean by that. Um, yeah, 15-minute babies. You see that? They're making a lot of babies here. So, yeah, Singlish. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, place. What do you think the benefit of the ticks is? Why is it for you not? You mean points, not candles, but points. I can only choose from ticks or money, or money. So for me, the money amount for especially people that are new, because I'm a distribution trader, so I have over 100 point and Q moves sometimes, and that shows a lot of money. And the money is not important, so that's why I'm showing ticks, because I want to steer people away of the money amount. Because the money, I want to focus. Yes, exactly. I want to focus on the process. I would rather have percentages actually, but I don't think that's possible. Um, but it is because the money amount is not important at all, because it's just a distraction. If I would have a large move, and if I would put on two or three, because I always chart on the Nasdaq, on not an MNQ. It shows a lot of money if I skill in and skill out, and it's just a distraction because people look, oh my god, she's making that kind of money. Well, sometimes I just trade an MNQ on my own account, but I do trade minis as well. But that I never will. The amount of money is not important for me to share with you how much I'm making on a trade. It's more important for me to share the logic behind the trade. Like, where do I get in? Where's my stop loss? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? What is the logic behind every move? And that's what also I want to hear from you guys. I'm not interested in people, and I mean, in all honesty, it doesn't happen a lot in this chat as well. People do say, "Oh, I made money," but people share here more like, "Hey, I did this, and this is my logic, and I'm looking at this because of that. If then, if then, if then." I've learned from my chat. Um, that's the idea, yeah. So that's why I'm also like paper trading, and I'm just going over it. Why am I getting in? Why am I not moving my stop? Why am I doing this? Why am I leaving it? Because I think we're going to take this. It was a wrong. I entered here on a FOMO entry, as you can see, and it was a mistake. But we created a failure swing here. But why did we create a failure swing? To take it out at a later stage when we created a 1-minute breaker here. So I do think we're going to take it out. Let's see. Oh, the macro is done. Yeah, but Saturday, then you really need to, if you do that, you're too focused on money and not on the process. So that tells you a lot about where you are in your journey. I did the same. I totally recognize that. So, but that tells you a lot. Thank you for your honesty, by the way. But you should not be doing that unless you are really, well, I mean, even if you're profitable, you don't care because you know that you're making money. But Ahmed, he shared something. Ahmed, he shared today, which I actually totally. He said he didn't look at his P&L for 2 months. He was just focusing on the process. Obviously, you're winning or you're losing, right? But not looking at your P&L is so powerful because you're just focusing on. You have a strict line of rules that you follow, and obviously you know that you're green, but you don't care about how much you're making. You just know that you're making money or you're maybe slightly red. And if you follow your process, you know you will never lose your account because you know you're only risking so little money. And he's banking now, if I'm correct, somewhere between 6 or 7K. But he just let it go until the end of the year. He said, I'm just not going to look into it till the end of the year, and then it's going to take a payout. And I haven't really thought about it that much. Thank you guys for subscribing. I haven't thought about it for a while, but I wrote it down again because process over outcome anytime, and that's why the ticks are so important. And that's I love that you say it, even though you are still calculating it. The moment you stop doing that and you start following a process, I think we do that. I did that because I didn't have a well enough process yet. But the moment you get a process and you deviate from your process, you get back to that trap, right? Or getting FOMO or things like that. That's where you start getting into that loop again of overtrading and things like that. So it was a great reminder for myself as well what Ahmed shared today. So that's why I do ticks, and I love to have the discussion about it. Like, hey, why are you doing ticks? Because I already know what comes next, and I love that you're open about it. That I'm break from trading. Okay, Saturday, listen. Take a break from putting money on the line, but join us, read price with us. Don't take a break from trading, because I think it's good to take a little break, but take a break from putting money on the line. Just teach yourself to just tape read, but keep on learning. Don't give up, because break from trading is also you losing time reading price. So I have a few other people that said the same last week, and I said, no, just join us, but just don't, be honest where we need to help you or keep you in check. But, I'm also taking a break from trading now. I'm only paper trading. You see, I put a FOMO trade on. I'm taking a break, but I'm also, just because it's the end of the year, price action can be tricky. We're consolidating a lot. But hey, don't take a break from trading. Just take a break from putting money on the line. Just read price and study more. But hey, take a little break. Yes, but come back. And just don't put money on the line, okay? So that's what I really want to focus on during also with this channel. Focus on psychology and being honest. I mean, if I notice if I'm open about my little things that I'm struggling with, people are more eager to share as well, right? Because hey, I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. We're not alone, guys. Yeah, you want to learn, right? And the thing is, if you the danger of taking a break is you take a break, and the moment you come back, you're going to put your money on the line. You haven't learned anything. You have not spent more money, time in the markets. You're just going to spend more money and lose because you don't know what you have to work on. But the best thing is to get more mechanical in trading. The more mechanical your trades, that's why I'm showcasing this to our trade constantly. The breaker retest is the most simple one. Hey, Avneet, how are you? And just work on back testing, finding your model or improving your model. Work on a better R2R, and work on execution. But yeah, just don't stay away too long, because you have to. The moment you come back, you think, oh, I'm ready now, and then you're going to make the same mistakes. That's what I did. Because just taking a break is not enough. You have to work on your things that you need to improve or figure them out. Sometimes you just don't even know them, right? What is it? What am I doing? Right? You just don't know. So yeah, just hang out, and if you want to just be open where you are, so you can paper trade with me. If you say, hey, listen, I want to paper trade more, and I love paper trading. I'm not ashamed of it. And if people are, they can go elsewhere if they don't like it. It's for me to just, you learn my as well. If it has to be live though. I don't like to paper trade I don't back test, because I need live price action. Yeah, hey, Avneet, I'm so glad to be back. I really am. I was like, oh my god, 4 days. It's already Sunday. Okay, tomorrow we can go back into the market. And I do like price action. But Saturday I'm also I will also start a YouTube channel, a Discord, also to be able to communicate better. Now it doesn't. I try to do or to organize a few sessions. But yeah, it's also part of just bringing value. But I think this is one of the biggest things, that helping each other, getting better, finding out what are the things that we need to work on to get better in trading and not to lose money. Because I think the markets are designed for us to lose money. You have to really come to terms with that. Exactly. If you just take a break, you come back and you do the same thing. Just say, hey, listen, I'm going to, you need to, it's all about learning more. It's about studying, learning more. If you lose too much money, it's either discipline, but it also could be just you don't have your setup is not good enough, or you don't have a setup yet that you have really back tested enough. You know, so I can only say keep grinding and just but don't go away from the market too long because you miss out on, we are living in the market is extremely difficult now, but learning in this market, once the market gets easier again, guys, we are so fortunate to be able to learn in this market, because once the market starts to get easier again, you'll see we're going to have an easy ride. And I'm already noticing like, wow, because I've been, as a newbie, sitting through accumulation is horrible, but you need to do it because you need to start recognizing it. And once you start recognizing it, you will be able to, once you have more experience, you shut down your laptop and you go away, do some other things. But you need to get to a point that you can recognize it. There's nothing more valuable than screen time. I'm telling you. And I've had a lot. I've been studying for 3 years extensively, but also screen time, and journaling. It's hard work, but once you get there, will the market? Yes. Will the market ever get easier now that here there are more and more traders? I don't think. Well, listen. If you sit through this hardship and you study the market right now, you'll be in such an advantage in a while. I mean, so yeah. Well, the markets will, I mean, the more traders there are, the more liquidity there is, and the more liquidity for us, right? Because there's always suckers coming into the market. So it's not about the amount of, we want more traders and we want more liquidity. We want more institutions to anticipate as well. That's the problem. The markets are fickle when there's less institution, less traders, there's less liquidity, is more manipulation. So the more traders there are, the better it will be, right? So for the liquidity, I think you're more asking like if are the same traders using the same strategies, will that make a difference? So, but yeah. So guys, I'm gonna take a break now because I'm a little bit hungry. And yeah, I agree. It's we rejected here again. We rejected here, we rejected here. So one of the two have to break. I wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't be short either at the moment. I would have one of them break first because we still have room to the upside as well, even though we had 2.5, but it's not breaking away. I will be careful. I'm just going to take a little bit of a. It's sunny. I'm going to go make a nice walk on the beach. I'll be back later in New York, guys. Thank you for again. I cannot say enough. Look at the 15-minute, by the way, before I leave. Look at the 15-minute. And see. Just be careful. It's consolidating. Wait till one end breaks, right? Yes, Saturday. Any questions before I let go? Any questions, my dear people? I can't wait for 2026 as well, guys. Yes, we'll be back in. Yes, Dean, thank you, guys, and thank you all, for all your openness as well, for sharing what you struggle with. I really want to spend more time on that as well. I think that's really important. It helps me, but I think it helps a lot of traders as well to work on those. I have a little bit of a coaching background from my former job, but I don't want to become a coach again. But I do think it is nice to be able to touch on topics where we can touch further on if it helps people. And I do think these things, what I thought, oh my God, if people would learn that sooner than when I did it, it will save you a lot of money anyway. Okay, guys, I love you long time, and I'll see you back later today. We've got 10 o'clock news, so my stream will start at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I'll see you later. Go enjoy, touch some grass. Don't overtrade. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.